into plumbing issues, from leaky faucets and clogged drains to full home repipes and sub pump installations, call Crawl Pros and we'll get our plumbing division, Plumber Pros, out to get it resolved. For anything related to your crawl space, attic, pest control, or plumbing, call Crawl Pros or visit us at crawlpros.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit WaFdBank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump took to social media this morning to blast Democrats over the Jeffrey Epstein fallout. He and Attorney General Pam Bondi are under increasing pressure from both sides to release more details. CBS's Scott McFarland begins our coverage.
The president just called this a Democratic hoax. The concerns and questions about Jeffrey Epstein's death and whether there's some list of famous cohorts that were part of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes against children.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Epstein victim Danielle Bensky has blasted the Trump administration for its refusal to release everything it has on him. She's suing two of Jeffrey Epstein's closest advisors, arguing they must have enabled his crimes. And her lawyer claims there's a wealth of information collected from Epstein's computers that the government has yet to release.
CBS News has learned President Trump asked a group of House Republicans if he should fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The president was asked about it a few minutes ago and said it's unlikely.
I think he does a terrible job. He's costing us a lot of money.
The Senate last night advanced a bill that would take back more than $9 billion in foreign aid and public broadcasting funding. Torian Small is there.
One of the tipping points in this vote was Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota. He previously said he had some concerns about how this could impact public broadcasting when it comes to tribal radio stations. He said that he was confident that there would be amendments that would see those untouched.
Police in Los Angeles have made an arrest in the murder of an American Idol executive and her husband, the LAPD's Guy Golan.
On surveillance video, homicide investigators discovered that the suspect had managed to scale over one of the fences, gain access to the residence, and he entered and unlocked or unsecured door of the residence.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he's very concerned about the Israeli strikes in Syria today. Robert Berger in Jerusalem explains what is happening.
Israel is intervening on behalf of the Druze Arabs. They are an offshoot of Islam in southern Syria, but there's also a very big Druze population here in Israel and in the Israeli part of the Golan Heights. And they've been pressuring the government to intervene on behalf of their brothers in Syria, who, according to the Druze, are being massacred, first by Bedouin forces and then by regime forces who came in.
In Gaza, 20 people were killed today at an aid distribution site, another 41 in Israeli airstrikes, according to health officials in Gaza. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A gas leak in Seattle's Belltown neighborhood will tell you the latest on that. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, We are looking like a pretty standard mid-morning commute. Some pretty good slowing coming in and out of Seattle. I-5 starts northbound at about Rainier Beach, getting all the way into downtown, and then the southbound drive from Lake City inward with a little thready slowing back into Mount Lake Terrace. I'm not seeing any collisions in that area to slow you down, just a little bit heavier travel times right now. Federal Way to Seattle is an hour and 2 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 41 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue on 405 southbound is 41 minutes. Bellevue to Renton is 22 minutes. This report brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, the law requires you to call 811 to avoid dangerous and costly damages to utility lines. Call 811 or submit online at digsafewa.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Seattle Fire Department responded to reports of a natural gas leak downtown this morning, causing traffic snarls in the Belltown neighborhood near 3rd and Wall. Occupants of the building were all evacuated. Seattle Fire now reports PSC has secured natural gas to the building, and they are monitoring air quality inside. Because of the ongoing strike by workers at Republic Services, garbage is piling up in some places, including in Bellevue, where a daycare told KIRO 7 TV they'd have to rent a truck to get their bags of dirty diapers to a drop-off site Republic provided.
What would you have to do, in addition to the truck? I mean, what would you have to do to get that trash to there?
Yeah, well, I'd have to, glove up and go in there and get it out.
Republic tells customers it will collect double your regular trash amount and recycling when service resumes at no additional charge. Customers will get a service credit on their upcoming bill. A heat advisory is in place until 10 p.m. across western Washington with beautiful sunny skies. And with those rising temperatures, metal in local bridges will need to be cooled down. In Seattle, expect delays on the Ballard and Fremont bridges this afternoon.
Between 1 and 6:30 this afternoon, crews will be spraying the bridges down with water to try to keep the metal from expanding. So expect 10 to 15-minute closures on both the Ballard and Fremont bridges. Traffic will not be impacted on the University Bridge.
That's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon. Army helicopters buzzed southeast Bellevue and Issaquah last night. Many of you may have noticed the low flights by the Boeing MH-47G Chinook choppers as late as midnight. But according to a spokesperson at Joint Base Lewis McChord, it was just standard training. The base is home to more than 400 pilots who all have to log required flight hours. Some of those training flights have to happen at night. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny, high of 92 in Seattle. Overnight lows in the high 50s. 86 tomorrow, mostly sunny. 71 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, we're back, everybody. Happy Wednesday, July 16th. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, Ursula, this morning, I was talking to my man Tyree in LA Fitness in the gym this morning, and he works for the city, the Parks Department, right? And he said, I asked him, hey, what you gonna be doing out there? It's gonna be hot for you guys. Yes. He says, oh, I'll be fine, you know, my big machine. I get to listen to the radio and everything. Why does dude talk about all the other shows and stations he listens to, and he don't listen to my show?
Are you serious?
Man, I said, man, that's disrespectful.
Did you turn him around?
I better. But put it this way. If he don't hear what I said about him, when I see him tomorrow, then he is out of there. Good morning, Ursula.
Then he's out of it, too, because this is the show to listen to.
That's right.
Hey, we have a You Be the Judge segment coming up at 9:30 after Jillian's newscast. Yeah. It has to do with an excuse that someone who's kind of high profile, he used this excuse for not having current car tabs.
And it's not me.
No, I said kind of high profile. You would be high profile.
I know, I'm kind of.
Yeah, no. Anyway, so you are going to get a chance to weigh in right now. Just a reminder that our text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
All right, let's get to it. Ursula's top stories of the day, brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
And we are beginning with our KIRO News Radio exclusive story. While one of his top commanders is now under investigation for DUI, we have uncovered that Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank himself was previously arrested for driving under the influence. Our reporter Luke Ducey has been looking into this and joins us live now.
Yeah, Ursula, it happened when Sheriff Swank was a sergeant with the Seattle Police Department back in 2007. Court documents show a state trooper arrested Swank in Pacific County for DUI. His blood alcohol level measured 0.21, which is more than 2 times the legal limit. We had a bunch of questions for Swank, obviously. He sent me a single statement in an email that said this. This is a recycled 18-year-old story about a charge that was rightly downgraded because I was simply asleep in a parked, privately owned car, not driving or endangering anyone. Well, according to court documents, Swank actually entered a plea agreement in exchange for pleading guilty. Prosecutors agreed to amend his DUI charge to negligent driving. On Saturday, Pierce County Major Chad Dickerson was driving and was arrested for suspicion of vehicular assault and DUI in Graham. He was hired by Swank to be a part of his command staff. State troopers say Dickerson failed to yield the right-of-way in Graham on Saturday, which caused a crash with an SUV. All 5 people inside that SUV were taken to the hospital, including 3 young children. But this is what Sheriff Swank said about that case concerning one of his command staff members, Dickerson, on Monday.
If there was a law violation here, then the Major Dickerson will be held to the highest standard here at the agency and also within the court system itself.
I asked Swank also what he thinks that about his DUI and Dickerson's now being arrested on suspicion of DUI. What does that say in his mind about the culture of his command staff? He did not answer any of those questions. He just stuck to the reaction to this revelation now that he was arrested in charge of DUI back in 2007.
And so basically he's saying it's old news. The reason it's relevant, though, and I would argue, is that we are trying to get to the bottom of whether this person who is explain Dickerson's position and the power that he has within that department.
He oversees all of the criminal investigations for Pierce County. He's part of the command staff. I've talked with other people in leadership roles like this who their command staff they're the most important officers underneath them because they carry out the policies. They're the most trusted advisors, et cetera. It's like a cabinet to the president.
So he was arrested on Saturday afternoon, and there are some discrepancies right now in terms of the deputies who showed up at the scene said he did not appear to be impaired, but he ended up going to urgent care, and a state patrol trooper said, no, there was evidence of driving under the influence much later. So talk about some of those discrepancies and what we're trying to get uncovered right now.
Absolutely. So here's part of the timeline from Saturday. So 3:26 is when that accident happened in Graham at an intersection. It wasn't until, and I'll fast forward all the way till about 7 p.m. is when WSP got a search warrant and took a blood draw from Dickerson. We're still waiting for the blood test results from the WSP crime lab. But in between that time, court documents say that a Pierce County deputy at the scene told Dickerson to remain at the scene, don't go anywhere until WSP got there. But Dickerson's wife, according to court documents, drove to the scene, picked him up, and drove him to that urgent care. That's where troopers went and investigated and actually made the arrest on suspicion of DUI. Court documents also say when a state trooper, an investigator at the scene, asked Pierce County deputies, did you all observe any signs of impairment? They said no. But in their report, state troopers say the signs of impairment to them were obvious, and they found multiple, and that's what led to, again, an arrest on suspicion of DUI.
Where would we be without state troopers? I got to tell you, because it seems like in your story, it seems like state troopers are the ones that are holding people accountable. Let's get to that and questions about that. So, going back to Sheriff Swank in 2007, it was said, was it a state trooper that made the arrest then?
It was a state trooper.
Okay, so I would assume if it was a state trooper, we don't know where he was asleep at. And by the way, even if you are asleep behind the wheel and you're intoxicated, that's still a DUI. But anyways, I don't know if you have found this out or asked this question, but if Swank was arrested by a state trooper, was he like in a parking lot or was he on a freeway? I don't know if you know the answer to that.
We don't know, and I'll tell you why. I asked WSP for any records that they have concerning this incident, and they said because it was 18 years ago, they don't have records anymore. The courthouse, and I was in conversations with a clerk of the county courthouse there in Pacific County. They also have no paper files anymore, but they do have a few documents, several documents that they gave to us, but they don't list those details. So we don't have those details, and without actually speaking with the trooper who made the arrest, I don't think we're going to get those specific details. But let's just say that Swank did say that let's go back to his statement because we want to be fair here, absolutely. In his characterization, said that he was asleep in a parked, privately owned car, meaning it wasn't a police vehicle. He was a member of the SPD back then, and he was not driving or, in his words, endangering anyone.
Yeah, and all of this is coming to light now, too, because this is a sheriff who, we've reported on it quite frequently, is trying to basically change state law or not follow state law when it comes to getting involved with ICE. I mean, he's basically acting like a rogue sheriff in many ways. There were many folks who were warning about him. SPD said they basically would have fired him given what he did on his social media posts, but he ended up resigning. So, I mean, he's got a checkered record, essentially. So, yeah, why are we asking questions? We want to make sure that this person who has a lot of influence within Pierce County Sheriff's Office is not going to get preferential treatment when it comes to potentially driving under the influence.
One more question before you go, Luke. You made the comment, I think you said that Sheriff Swank said that if he is, they will make sure that his agency will uphold this. What was that statement you made about this? With
in regards to Dickerson,
right?
With the investigation, they will follow the letter of the law.
His agency as well, the same agency that did not smell alcohol on Dickerson, but State Patrol did. Correct?
What the deputies said again, and yes, but I have to say it this way because I'm a journalist.
That's fine.
I'm a journalist.
That's fine.
Because deputies at the scene, according to state troopers, said that they did not see any signs of impairment, including any odor of intoxicants.
But who did smell alcohol?
State Patrol. Trooper claims that she did. Right. And let me I'll just add this. Back to what your point, Ursula, at the very top. Why people are going to weigh in either way. They either don't care, they care. This is politically motivated. This is what. Look, but I don't think anyone can get around this fact. This is newsworthy because this is a sheriff in a leadership role, a politician, an elected official who is in a leadership role who. At the time of being a sergeant, not just an officer, but a sergeant with the largest police department in Washington State, was arrested and charged for driving under the influence. Mm-hmm. And now, in a leadership role, has hired a member of his command staff in January. 6 months later, that member of his command staff, whom he hired, is now facing allegations of driving under the influence.
Right, exactly.
That's why this is newsworthy.
Luke, thank you. Appreciate you. Trash is piling up, so are the frustrations. Nearly 150 garbage workers are on strike or either honoring the strike against Republic Services in Western Washington, and that is leaving neighborhoods from Bellevue to Renton wondering when the trash is finally going to get picked up. This started as a local contract fight in Thurston County, but now it's really gone national. The Teamsters Union says this is part of a coast-to-coast showdown over fair pay and working conditions. There are also picket lines that are expanding this week to Los Angeles. Other residents in affected cities include Kent, Edmonds, Linwood, and unincorporated King and Snohomish counties. They're being told to bag their garbage and haul it to pop-up drop sites or transfer stations. Meanwhile, Seattle Public Utilities says their pickups are still running smoothly, but who knows how long that's going to last.
They knew to do this by the way, today is supposed to be the hottest day of 2025, and bam, they knew about perfect timing. My homeboy Bryant House said this on his post, Ursula, on Facebook. Republic Services, please come pick up this trash. I don't care about what y'all got going on between my dad, kids, and myself. Everything is backed up over here. Pay these people because now I'm going to go to random places. I'm over it.
Oh, my gosh. I'd love to hear what y'all are doing when your trash is piling up. What are you doing? I mean, Chef, you said you're dealing with this.
Yeah. There's so many dog poop bags and there's diapers in there. So I can't put that stuff in my car. It's not going to happen. I don't have a truck that I can put it into. And furthermore, there's no drop-off locations anywhere near me for folks in Edmonds. So it's just going to sit there and anaerobically ferment in the 90-degree heat. And I am going to hope to God they figure out this contract situation, because if we go 3 weeks, it's going to get real bad. We don't even have any more cans to put stuff into.
Yeah, and remember, this started off with 12 workers in Thurston County. Now it's spreading, and now I think this is one of those examples where you see how powerful a union can be, because it is having a very strong impact. Okay, picture this. A loaded Glock left out. A 4-year-old gets a hold of it. That is actually what happened in Linwood. Now a mother is recovering from a gunshot wound. Deputies in Linwood say a 4-year-old boy accidentally shot his mom in the arm Tuesday morning.
Deputies learned that the child had retrieved the firearm from his father, who was asleep on the couch.
The 42-year-old woman was rushed to Harborview. The kid had minor injuries. The father's now in jail, booked for reckless endangerment and unlawful storage of a firearm. Investigators actually say there were several guns that were left unsecured in that home. And in a case like this, I got to ask, if he is convicted and you are the judge, what kind of penalty should he face?
Extreme penalty. The whatever it says, the highest amount of a penalty and consequences that you can get. This is the conversation that we've had on this show all the time, and there's a lot of people who leave their guns unsecured. A lot of people leave their guns in the vehicles and cars. They get stolen, and then when we find out that crimes are committed with stolen guns, because good guys with guns sometimes don't know how to secure your guns. And if you're listening right now, do you know of anyone, a friend, family, or someone that you know that has guns in their homes and they're unsecured, right? We have a big problem with people securing their firearms. Hey, if you're going to own firearms, great. But because we don't really have any mandatory courses for people to take getting those firearms, then security of those arms is not really a big deal. And unfortunately, I'm grateful that this mom will live, but that's still a very tragic situation.
Well, it is. I mean, reckless endangerment is a gross misdemeanor. The penalty is up to about a year in jail or a $5,000 fine. Under the safe storage law, which is in effect here in Washington, if a child gets access to a gun and uses it to cause injury, the gun owner can be charged with a gross misdemeanor. If the child causes death, it could be, again, elevated to a Class C felony. But in this case, I mean, it's the family. What's probably likely going to happen is that there's a plea deal. The guy gets probation and maybe mandatory firearm safety training. But it's like, how stupid can you be? If you are owning a firearm and you have a child in your home, it's like having a pool and not having a safety fence around it.
Yeah.
And you have a child. You're asking for trouble. Okay, it's no secret that I hate graffiti, so I'm more than happy to tell y'all that the Seattle City Council has just passed that new law that slaps graffiti taggers with civil fines of up to $1,500 per incident, and that is on top of any criminal charges. Councilmember Bob Kettle and City Attorney Ann Davison say it is time to go after those repeat offenders in civil court, especially since criminal convictions are rare. Just 11% of misdemeanor cases actually stick. So this law is going to allow retroactive lawsuits going back 3 years. And one of the things that they found out after looking into this whole tagging thing is that so many of these folks who are doing it actually have jobs. They're full grown adults who think it's fun to do it. But it's very expensive. I mean, there was like 28,000 graffiti complaints last year in the city alone. City spent more than $6 million trying to clean it out. So do you think this is going to work to curb any of it?
No. By the way,
oh, great.
I feel like every time, Ursula, you bring up a graffiti story. Oh, we're cracking down.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
We're cracking down. It reminds me of the one lady, she's like, oh, I'm done. I'm done this time. He didn't come home last night. I'm done. He hasn't been home for 2 weeks. I'm done with him. And then 2 weeks later, you see them together. Like, that's this whole thing. Nobody's doing nothing about the graffiti.
Oh, but see, they haven't been, and that's why it hasn't stopped. So yeah, because right now, per tag, it costs about $3,000 to clean. You should be hacked off. And I'm going to tell you when you're going to be hacked off. If you buy that brand new home in Point Reston, and then all around you, suddenly taggers decide we're going to go to town and tag everything around your brand new home.
I'd be upset. And I'd be upset.
And you'd want them to go after him.
But we know that they're not. We know. We all know.
City of
that
Seattle saying, nope, we're going after
nobody's going to really sit in prison for any amount of time for graffiti. We know that.
It's not a prison.
No,
you want to get some.
That's the only way you
I want you to get
folks.
hit with money.
Yeah, that's the only way you
Big fines.
I mean,
you're real upset about the graffiti on the highway, right? In the freeway?
It's not going to cover I-5.
Oh,
yeah,
darn.
I know. State
Darn.
property.
By the way,
let me just go further though. The state needs to follow what the city of Seattle's doing. Crack down. State lawmakers should pass similar legislation. Crack down. Other states can do it.
I just want to give a shout out, Ursula, because we keep talking about WSP, Washington State Patrol.
Yes, you want to give kudos to them.
Kudos, because one thing about Washington State Patrol, you guys don't be in the news, and you hold these law enforcement agencies accountable. So thank you for continuing to be the leader in accountability out here. Appreciate you. Coming up next, somebody is trying to get away, and they're refusing to renew their tabs after 6 years, and it's like a flex to them. We'll tell you next. Gee Ursula.
Stay ahead of our summer traffic nightmare with Chris Sullivan's Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru.
We've been warning you for more than a year, and now the month of hell is upon us. Northbound I-5 is going to be closed across the Ship Canal Bridge this weekend, followed by a month of lane closures. It is going to be ugly. I'll tell you how to get through it on Choke Points tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
I was chatting with my friend Jonathan from DUI Heroes, and he told me a lot of people don't realize roadside standardized field sobriety tests are voluntary, meaning you don't have to perform them. You can simply say, no, thank you. You also can ask to speak with the lawyer immediately, which he strongly recommends that you do. The police are building a case against you, so don't risk further implicating yourself. Call DUI Heroes immediately, 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com, your DUI defense specialist.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, going on right now through July 20th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Swing and a miss. Strike three. That is strikeout number 7 for Brian Wu.
Home.
Home is where you get to cook things up just the way you like.
Swing and a miss.
Where you're never afraid to get in the kitchen.
Hey, got him. A huge strikeout from Logan Gilbert. It's 7th tonight.
Where you serve, carve, put some extra mustard on it.
There's the fist pump by Luis Castillo. Strikeout number 10 on the night.
And get a little spicy.
Set a heater at 100. Back-to-back strikeouts for Andres Munoz.
Now you're cooking with gas. Mariners baseball at T-Mobile Park. Welcome home.
The Mariners return from the All-Star break at the end of the week with an AL West showdown against the Astros. Don't miss your chance to catch Cal and the crew square off against their division rivals Friday through Sunday at T-Mobile Park. Then it's 3 straight Mariners value games versus the Brewers, July 21st to 23rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm future you. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living, and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, in your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
At Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, we get that your teeth, your budget, and your story are all unique to you, which is why our experts who specialize in dental implants will build a custom solution around each patient's needs. With personalized treatment plans and third-party financing options, we'll help you get your new teeth on your terms. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today and let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Office is owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. New data from a Washington immigration rights group shows a dramatic increase in local deportations. A report by La Resistencia puts this year's deportation flights out of Boeing Field on track to possibly double last year's flight count. Seattle ICE field director has plans to expedite the process even further.
I'm hoping that we will be getting more staff, more deportation officers, more enforcement and removal assistants to get more boots out on the street.
Director Kamala Walmsley gave KIRO Newsradio exclusive access to the latest deportation flight. It left Seattle yesterday with 13 adult detainees on board. Director Walmsley alleges nearly half of those passengers were criminals. One, a 37-year-old Mexican fugitive, facing a warrant for murder. 2 others were facing child molestation charges. As the flight took off, a protest was underway outside the airport, local activists demanding more ICE transparency while calling for an end to local deportations. Meanwhile, the King County Council votes 8-1 to pass a welcoming jurisdiction policy aimed at immigrants and refugees. Here's Council member Teresa Mosqueda.
This action builds on King County's legacy and commitment to ensuring immigrants and refugees are not only welcome here, but they are protected here.
King County is also considering legislation that would ensure county employees do not cooperate with or assist any surveillance or registration programs. On the flip side, Lewis County in southern Washington has declared itself a non-sanctuary county, meaning the county will not pass any measures that limit cooperation with federal agencies like ICE. President Trump's clawback package targeting foreign aid in public broadcasting is making its way through the Senate. CBS News correspondent Jennifer Kuiper with more.
The Senate clears the second of two procedural votes on the rescissions package to cancel billions of dollars in foreign aid as well as NPR and PBS funding. It was the same 51-50 with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. GOP Senators McConnell, Murkowski, and Collins voted no. Up next is a vote-a-rama today. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
And from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, let's get a look at your mid-morning commute. I'm starting to see a little bit of odd slowing on I-90, both east and west, right around Factoria in Bellevue, leading up to the 405 merge. I'm guessing there's just a really slow merge that happens there. Meanwhile, 405 northbound is still a little bit of a struggle. It's very hard packed between the Renton Landing and down to the 167 merge. There was an earlier stalled vehicle on the shoulder that's been cleared now, and hopefully that'll thin out. But right now, the Renton to Bellevue Drive is about 33 minutes. In the opposite direction, Bellevue to Renton is 21 minutes. I-5 in and out of Seattle, typical slowing. Federal Way to Seattle, 55 minutes. That's a little bit better than a half hour ago. Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes. And there's also some odds, looks like a slowdown on 99 northbound and 509 northbound getting into downtown Seattle. That starts from about South Park. This report brought to you by Fred Meyer Pharmacy. Fred Meyer Pharmacy welcomes Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense plan members. You can transfer prescription at fredmeyer.com/pay or update. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Hot, sunny, high of 92 degrees. Overnight dips to high 50s, slightly cooler at 86 degrees tomorrow. It's 71 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy to say that all of us have current tabs, but if you look at Tim Iman's tabs, they still say 2019, and he is proud of it. So my question for all of you is he a principled hero standing up for what he believes is right, or a lawbreaker?
You be the judge.
So Washington's most notorious anti-tax crusader, Tim Iman, says he was pulled over again this week for expired tabs, but once again, he didn't get a ticket. And he was sending out this email proclaiming this. I got one of those emails yesterday. And he claims that this has happened 6 or 7 times in the last 6 years. And every time, after explaining that he is staging what he calls a peaceful political protest, he says the officer lets him go. And he wrote, this is a quote, "Not renewing is civil disobedience, but it's not a crime. It's the equivalent of a parking ticket," he says. And he's actually urging everyone to join what he's calling the resistance, and even includes talking points for you if you are pulled over. He says, "It's not that I forgot. For me, this is a peaceful political protest." And his argument, G, is that Washington voters approved $30 car tabs in 2019, and that these higher fees are, in his view, illegitimate. And by the way, important to note that he's also using the money in this moment to raise money for his own legal defense fund, because he claims that former Attorney General Bob Ferguson has spent more taxpayer money going after him than on any other case in the past 13 years combined. So, my question to you and everyone listening, you be the judge. Do you agree with Tim Iman? This is just civil disobedience, or do you think he's a lawbreaker?
Both things could be true. I agree with Tim Iman on the part where we did vote for $30 car tabs. And I've said this before, and I still don't like that whole thing. Also, at the same time, I do think that you should still get your car tabs. So it's one of those, I like to say, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I think the right thing to do is to get your car tabs. And I'm saying that, and I don't want to go too deep about this, but let's just say you have children and you get pulled over and your children are in the car and law enforcement is, hey, why don't you have your car tabs? And you're going back and forth with that person about this topic, right? You're saying, no, I'm not doing it. This is civil disobedience and everything. How do your kids understand how to determine when to do that in the right way? And right now it feels like, and I know there are other people that feel this way too. It feels like that if you do the right thing, Ursula, cross T's and dot I's, it's almost like when you do the right thing, it's more expensive because you
feel like you're penalized?
Right, because you see so many people that are taking shortcuts. You see so many people that are just getting away. They might even be in your family. You got that one family member that's like, how in the world, that person don't do this, do that? Yeah. They get a check for this, they get a check for that.
It's the same people who, to me, figure out how to get all these tax breaks and, somehow, whether it's writing off their gambling losses or this, that, or the other, how they figure out a loophole. I am not proud of Tim Eyman. I don't think that he's doing the right thing, and I absolutely think he's breaking the law, and he's taking advantage of the rest of us who are paying our fees, and it kind of ticks me off. But the other thing that ticks me off is, why are these officers giving him a pass? I'm sorry. Like we talked about, if you don't penalize someone, they're not gonna stop with their bad behavior. And he's bragging in this email saying, well, this happened to me 6 or 7 times in the last 6 years, and every time he says it's peaceful political protest.
So let's just say
fine him.
So let's just say they give him a ticket, right? And those tickets, car tabs.
Get his car tabs.
And so they collect, and he's like, okay, I get the ticket, and then you can't go get car tabs because you've got these unpaid tickets, whether it's parking tickets.
Bad.
But he's never going to get the car tabs anyways. So it's like nothing really will happen to him. Does that make sense? So
nothing's going to happen to him as long as the cops just keep giving him a pass. So stop giving him a pass.
If they give him a ticket, what's going to happen to him?
He's going to have to get his car tabs because eventually the money's just going to keep piling up.
He doesn't plan to get car tabs. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if he gets it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but one thing that's going to guarantee that he's trying to encourage other people. And we just recently did a story where there are a bunch of people who, what was the number? 1 in 4 drivers in Washington are now skipping their tab renewals. So those of us who are doing it, and I'm not happy with the $30 car tabs being overturned, but it was. I mean, I'm not happy with all the taxes that keep getting slapped on me, but I have to pay them. I can't just say, hey, I'm going to do civil disobedience. I'm not going to pay it.
I don't disagree. But what I'm saying is people like Tim Eyman, what they do is they have a way of tapping into a lot of people that are tired of these things, whether it's the gas tax or this tax or that tax or the car tabs, and people voted for those things. And so when you talk about tabs, $30 car tabs, and you voted for it, passed, and you basically said, nope, sorry, that's not going to happen. And then you have people having to pay $400, $500, $600. That's a lot of money for some people. So people are pissed off. And so when Tim Eyman does things like that, people get behind him.
Yeah. So, but my question is, do you get behind him?
No, I just said that. No.
Yes.
I don't.
So you and I are on the same page on
that. I don't. I started off, both things can be true. Yes, I agree with him about the car tabs and the $30. And yes, he should still pay for his car tabs.
Yes, and I think the officer should stop letting him use that as an excuse. Okay, we need you to text in. You be the judge. Our text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Coming up next, the no vacation nation. That's what they're saying that the United States is. Do managers think that employees, when they go on vacation, should completely shut off, or should they show their commitment to their company? We will talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
listen to John Curley every afternoon? What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Amanda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Amanda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News, weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
I've been telling you about Bathfitter, and they have just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. And right now you can celebrate with payments as low as $125 a month, and you'll have a beautiful bath installed in one day. You don't have to deal with any kind of mess, and you will have a lifetime warranty. I've mentioned that Bathfitter put in a brand new bathroom in my mother-in-law's house, and when I tell you that her bathroom was outdated, I'm talking about it was the original bathroom. And we were thinking we're going to have to do major demo and it's going to be a huge expense. And we were wrong, because we called Bathfitter and a designer came over and helped us pick out all these beautiful fixtures, a new wall, and everything turned out so beautifully. And it was such a great value and such a great investment in that house. Right now, again, you can celebrate this big milestone of Bathfitters with payments as low as $125 a month. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com today.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com for more.
Over 1,300 schools offer free meals to students in our state during the school year. So what happens when school's out for summer? G. Scott here to share with you how we are working towards a hunger-free Washington. Sunbucks is a SNAP program that provides $120 of free healthy food per child when school is out. Sunbucks is a flexible food benefit that families can use to buy groceries to help offset rising costs. If you or a parent you know could use the help, simply fill out a form online to determine eligibility to receive $120 per child. If families had cards last year, they can have them replenished. If families need new cards, they can call the Sunbucks call center. Find all the details and apply for Sunbucks at hungerfreewashington.org/summer-EBT. This message is presented by Safeway, where customers can use SNAP to save on produce and shop online. Find out if this new grocery benefit could help your family. For more information, visit hungerfreewa.org/summer-EBT.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we will have a guest, our very own KIRO News reporter, Gwen Baumgartner. Excuse me, say that again. Gwen Baumgartner is going to join us for an exclusive look at the ICE deportation flights of Boeing Field that happened. I got to tell you, Ursula, sometimes when I have these Invisaligns in, it's rough sometimes. All right. If your boss tells you to unplug and enjoy your vacation, do they really mean it? Well, new research says no. This management doublespeak is called the detachment paradox. Managers say they value work-life balance, employees who unplug and set healthy boundaries, and more productive and stay in their jobs longer. But when employees actually do unplug and ignore the inbox on the weekend, there seems as if they're less committed and they don't get promoted. Like, oh, look at Susan over there, ignoring emails from the beach. Must not want that raise. Researchers tested it with fake employee profiles. One employee set healthy boundaries. The other was always on. And yep, Mr. Burnout got the promotion. It gets worse. They found that this penalty for unplugging can be just as strong as bias based on age or gender. Ursula, your thoughts?
I'm not shocked. My thought is this study confirms what I have believed in my work experience. And I have been both on the management side and not the management side. You know the folks in your building who are whether they're the overachievers or whether they are the ones that you can rely on each and every time. Hey, someone's sick. Oh, I'll step up. Oh, we've got a project. They'll be the first one to raise their hand. Even on vacation, even though they say, hey, we really need you to make sure that you take care of your health and make sure that you don't overwork yourself. Your bosses are not going to say no, and they appreciate those who are going to forego, whether it's their health, their time with family, et cetera. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, you know who exactly is the one that is the minute counter, and you know the ones that are willing to put in a couple of extra hours and not be bean counting, if you know what I'm saying. And I'm even saying it with a bias right now. I just called it bean counting when you are deserving of that time, and you've worked for that time, you've earned that time off. And you should be getting that time. And if you do need a mental health day or if you do need a sick day, you should be able to take that. Most companies have that built in. And they say, we want you to take it. Yeah. We want to make sure that you take care of yourself. But I'm sorry, I think this study confirms what I believe, which is they're also taking note.
And
it's human nature.
Are you okay with that?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think you really, I used to worry about, I was that employee who worked themselves almost to death. It's a lot easier for me to talk the way I do right now because if I lose my job today, I'm not going to suffer.
I am. I would.
That's
suffering.
just it. So yeah. So again, there are people who really by no choice have to be hustling all the time. Yeah. So should you care? I cared a lot more
before.
Yeah.
We keep talking about this, and the term work-life balance comes up all the time, and it's subjective, right? The work-life balance. But when it comes to being a husband or a wife, right? When you go to your significant other, hey, honey, listen, I need a little work-life balance when it comes to you. When it comes to being a parent, hey, little Johnny, look, I know you got to do all that stuff after school and homework and all those things, but sorry, I need a little work-life balance when it comes to you as a parent. The only time we have this attitude with the work-life balance, watch this, is towards the main thing that literally pays for everything. As a matter of fact, if you want to talk about divorce, which I can fairly say I can talk a lot about divorce, right? 70% of divorces are because of what? Finances. Finances is the biggest reason. So this whole idea of you have people like, oh, well, when I go on vacation, I like to shut off, and that's cool. But just be careful, because there's going to be someone that's hungry. Somebody, I don't care what age it is, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. There's somebody that's coming in and being like, yo, boom. Or you're going to mess around and there's going to be a G who pretends like he doesn't work hard, who lets the world know he doesn't work hard. But I can assure you that I'm that person, that I love money so much that I'm that person that's going to just outwork. Because especially in the state of Washington, you and your top stories every day, you're talking about
layoffs,
us being taxed. You're talking about layoffs. You're talking about housing affordability. So you mean to tell me in the state of Washington, where we live, that you really want to have this work-life balance discussion?
But you have this is where we get it wrong in this country. Other countries do work-life balance so much better. And there isn't a bias. They expect you to take your vacation time. They aren't going to be out of sorts if you take your allotted vacation time, because it is built in. But here we don't. It's like it's an imposition on everybody else if you have to have some mental health time off, or if you have to take the vacation that you have coming to you. It's putting other people feel put upon. And that's a failure when it comes to corporate management. I mean, because again, eventually you're going to just run people to death if you don't have some kind of work-life balance.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Hey, coming up next, our very own KIRO News reporter Gwen Baumgardner is going to join us. She has an exclusive look at the ICE deportation flights out of Boeing Field. She will join us next. Gee Ursula.
For the news you trust.
Breaking news we are getting.
Experience matters.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're on YouTube, our app, and 97.3 FM.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brad's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where batteries are as low as $89.99. Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Brad is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new Comcast Business customers can find out how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how you get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Early termination fee applies.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on right now. Find incredible savings on select new homes through July 20th. Learn more and find a community near you at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump has long criticized the Fed chair and was asked by reporters today if he planned to fire him. While he said it was highly unlikely.
He's always been too late, hence his nickname, Too Late. He should have cut interest rates a long time ago.
CBS's Jennifer Jacobs has more.
President Trump on Tuesday asked a group of GOP lawmakers if he should fire Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, and people in the room voiced approval, sources tell CBS News. Several say Trump indicated he will do it.
Trump has suggested he could attempt to remove Powell by arguing the central bank spent too much money for renovations of 2 historic office buildings. The president and the attorney general have been fending off criticism from both sides of the political aisle over the Jeffrey Epstein files. Scott McFarlane is at the Justice Department.
What a rare moment where you have Trump supporters and Trump opponents saying the same thing. Both calling for more information to be released, both calling for more transparency on this Epstein matter.
On Truth Social today, Trump blasted what he called a Democratic hoax. Police in Los Angeles have made an arrest in the murder of an American Idol music supervisor and her husband. Robin Kay and Thomas DeLuca were found dead at their home Monday afternoon. CBS's Carter Evans.
A spokesperson for American Idol said they are devastated by the couple's death, saying that Kay, quote, has been a cornerstone of the American Idol family since 2009 and was truly loved and respected by all who came in contact with her. Police are still working to come up with a motive for the killings.
Israel has been launching airstrikes into Syria today as a warning to the new government there not to attack the country's Druze minority. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the administration's been working to defuse the situation.
And we think we're on our way towards a real de-escalation and then hopefully get back on track in helping Syria build a country and arriving at a situation there in the Middle East is far more stable
stable. So in the next few hours, we hope to see some real progress to end what you've been seeing over the last couple hours.
Another 20 Palestinians died today at an aid distribution site in Gaza, the BBC's Yolande Nell.
A video shows boys and men, their bodies on the back of a cart, with a witness saying that many of these boys had pushed forwards in their effort to get the food handouts at this site and were trapped in an area between two fences.
Gaza health officials say another 41 Palestinians died in Israeli airstrikes. On Wall Street, stocks have been mixed all day. Currently, they're higher. The Dow Jones Industrials is up 99 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
A shooting investigation involving a 4-year-old child. We'll tell you more about that in just a minute. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, now we're starting to look more like a regular mid-morning commute. Still a little bit slow on I-5 and a few miles in and out of downtown Seattle. But slowing has dissipated on 509 and 99, though. Federal Way to Seattle, 51 minutes. Linwood to Seattle in the southbound direction, 34 minutes. 405 has been a little bit tough this morning. Down from Bothell into Bellevue is 37 minutes. The Renton to Bellevue commute has improved to 33 minutes. And I failed to mention we have no collisions right now, so keep it up, guys. Seattle to Tacoma is a speed limit drive at 38 minutes, and so are most of the highways in the South Sound that I can see. This report brought to you by ProSculpt. ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. An early morning shooting in Linwood. An accident by a 4-year-old. Here's Gary Horker from KIRO 7 TV.
The Snohomish County Sheriff's Office say the child took the gun from his father, who had been sleeping on the couch. The mother was rushed to Harborview. She is expected to be okay. The child also had some minor injuries. When deputies got inside the home, they found multiple unsecured guns. The father has been arrested for reckless endangerment and illegal gun storage charges.
A surprising new development inside the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. While one of his top commanders is under investigation for DUI, we've uncovered that Sheriff Keith Swank himself was previously arrested for driving under the influence.
On Saturday, state troopers arrested Major Chad Dickerson on suspicion of DUI after they say he caused a crash with an SUV with a family inside. On Monday, Sheriff Keith Swank said,
if there was a law violation here, then the Major Dickerson will be held to the highest standard here.
About his own DUI charge that was reduced in a plea deal to negligent driving, Swank told me the charge was rightly downgraded and that he was simply asleep in a parked car, not driving or endangering anyone. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Dickerson is scheduled to be arraigned this afternoon. We will have a reporter there. A reminder to slow down in work zones. Early this morning, Washington State Patrol says troopers responded to a crash on southbound I-5 near 405. The driver of an SUV hit an attenuator, which is a barrier, in the WashDOT work zone. Fortunately, there were no injuries. The countdown is on for 2 major road projects. Tomorrow evening, the mega 8-day closure of the SR 18 I-90 interchange gets underway. This shuts down 18 beneath the I-90 overpass in Snoqualmie while crews wrap up the long-awaited diverging Diamond interchange. Friday at midnight, Revive I-5 shuts down all northbound lanes between I-90 and Northeast 45th in Seattle. When the lanes reopen Monday, drivers will be down to 2 lanes across the Ship Canal Bridge through mid-August. During the weekend's closure, express lanes will stay open northbound. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. High of 92, clear skies, overnight lows in the 50s. Cooler tomorrow at 86 with a cooling trend the rest of the week. 72 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday, July 16th. Oh, hydrate and check on your neighbors, because it's going to be hot today. Swamp hot today.
It is going to be the hottest day of the year so far. Could even get into the lower 90s. So, yeah, how are you going to be spending the day cooling off? I'm going to ask for some advice later in the show from all of you because I got to do a barbecue. I'm hosting. And I'm like, what do you make when it's so hot like it is today? Coming up at 10:30, got another question for all of you. It's all about audience participation. What makes a great neighborhood? And how would you feel if you had a park that had nudists next to your house? She had no opinion until I said, well, what if it was in Point Ruston when you eventually moved there? And then you had a strong opinion.
I don't want to see all that situations.
Okay, text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Again, what makes a neighborhood great? Are you in one of those neighborhoods? Share that with us, and we will share your feedback coming up. But right now,
What's new at 10?
And just as we were talking about this situation involving current Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank and his prior DUI, you were reporting on our show, and then you got some new information as soon as you left.
Yeah, so this is a story that keeps developing, right? And it's developing every minute, it seems like. Yeah, just moments ago, literally just minutes ago, I received an email from the Pierce County Sheriff's Office, filling in gaps. I kind of want to bring you up to speed of what I'm talking about. One specific part of this issue, an incident, an accident involving Major Chad Dickerson, who's part of the command staff with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. So court documents said that Dickerson was involved in a crash on Saturday. He was arrested hours after that crash on suspicion of DUI. But at the scene there, at the time, Chad Dickerson was told to remain on that scene until WSP got there. That deputies from the sheriff's office told him to stay here until WSP investigators get here. But Dickerson's wife drove to the scene, picked him up, and drove him to an urgent care instead. Court documents also said talked about observations about whether or not there were any signs of impairment. Deputies said no. The state trooper said there were obvious signs. But I want to talk about why Dickerson left. Just minutes ago, again, the sheriff's office sent me this email to fill in some of the gaps. In this email, a spokesperson, Deputy Carly Capetto, explained that they're just getting in new reports from deputies who were at that scene, and they're saying that Dickerson was advised to remain on the scene by a traffic tech, but was later allowed to leave. That's the difference now. So reading through the reports, she tells me that this traffic tech left the scene and left a sergeant in charge of the scene until WSP arrived with their investigator. The sergeant remained on the scene with Dickerson and was informed by the traffic tech that WSP had extended its estimated arrival time. So the trooper was on the way, but it was going to be a little bit late getting there. The timeline that was released earlier by WSP shows that WSP showed up around 5:15 in the afternoon. The accident happened about 3:26 in the afternoon. So the sergeant then remained on scene and reported Dickerson then was wincing and grabbing at his right side. His condition seemed to be getting worse. Fire and rescue, first responders offered to transport Dickerson and advised that he should be checked out, but Dickerson initially declined, according to the spokesperson. Spokesperson says Dickerson's family then arrived on scene, his wife, according to WSP, and eventually convinced him to seek medical attention. The sergeant told Dickerson at that point, according to Pierce County Sheriff's Office, he could leave since the sergeant noticed Dickerson's condition appeared to be getting worse. Dickerson's wife transported him to seek medical attention, and then the sergeant remained on the scene to advise WSP when that state trooper arrived where they could contact Dickerson that, hey, he was up at this urgent care. So when that trooper arrived, and I've read it in a narrative in a probable cause document, there was no one on the scene. So all the family members, all five who were in an SUV that was crashed and on its side, had all been transported to the hospital at that point in time, and Dickerson was gone and all of his family members, his wife was gone, so there was no one there at the time when the trooper arrived.
So essentially we're spending so much time on this story, again, because we want to know what were standard protocols used in this case, or did this Chad Dickerson get preferential treatment given that basically the deputies on scene were dealing with their boss. And so, again, we're not making the allegation that he did get preferential treatment. I know that other law enforcement sources telling us say what happened, it does not sound standard. It sounds like the story is changing, and I believe that we need a full investigation into this, and I look forward to getting more details. But I mean, it does keep changing.
A good follow-up question will be, and is going to be, either by me or another reporter in the newsroom here shortly, if it was a standard civilian, a non-law enforcement person who was at the scene of a crash and there was suspected alcohol or other drugs involved, would that person be allowed to leave with anyone other than a member of law enforcement or a first responder like firefighters or an aid car or something like that to go to the hospital? Would they allow a family member to go? Because I tell you, what we're talking about, let's just put it out there. What we're talking about are questions about in any DUI investigation. If someone leaves the scene of a crime, they could claim that I was upset, whatever, fill in the blank, and I started drinking or doing drugs away from the scene, and therefore the trooper wasn't there to investigate.
Basically, it makes a very hard case to prosecute. Let's get to the bottom line. Yeah. It's going to make it much harder to prove any of these things. And again, someone who is in the know, someone who knows what the proper protocol is and what is necessary to get a DUI arrest or a vehicular or reckless endangerment arrest or whatever it is, they would know what it is that needs to be proved. And so, this stinks to high heaven. I'm just going to say it right now. We've got law enforcement texting in right now saying on the Pierce County DUI arrest, those officers made mistakes and screwed that case up. I mean, bottom line, it stinks to high heaven, and we are going to continue to follow
Dickerson's scheduled to be arraigned today about around 1:30, and we expect that he will be arraigned on charges of vehicular assault, but not DUI because they don't have any indicators that possibly he was driving impaired other than a blood alcohol test, and those test results have not come back from the WSB Crime Lab as of yet.
Okay.
Well, Luke, when you come back, I'll ask you my question the next time you come in. Thank you, Luke. Appreciate what you do. Thank you.
You got it.
All right. We move on. Oh, we can go on.
Yeah, so there's new data now from Washington immigration rights group showing a dramatic increase in local deportations. This report is by La Resistencia, which puts this year's deportation flights out of Boeing Field on track to possibly double last year's flight count. And KIRO Newsradio's Gwen Baumgardner got an exclusive inside look at ICE operations and spoke to immigration rights advocates about what is happening on those flights. Gwen.
Yeah, so ICE reached out a couple days ago and they said, hey, are you interested in seeing one of our deportation flights that's headed out of Boeing Field? Now, I've done quite a bit of research on these flights, so I kind of knew what to expect, but immediately I said yes, because I felt like this was an opportunity for transparency that so many people are asking for. You know, Americans want to know where their taxpayer dollars are going, and also this issue is just so heated in the U.S. So I arrived yesterday morning at Boeing Field. There was this Seattle ICE escort onto the tarmac, and there was a bus of 13 detainees that had been bussed over from the detention center in Tacoma. And I think my biggest question going into yesterday was, who are they? And Gee, when I came back to the studio, your first question to me were they criminals? Do they have a criminal past? Because we know that not a majority of current detainees all across the U.S. do have criminal past.
Yeah, 7% have violent crimes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that was one of my first questions to this ICE field director, and she said, actually, on this flight of 13 passengers, more than half do have some pretty violent backgrounds. One of the passengers, she says, a 37-year-old who's a fugitive from Mexico facing a homicide warrant when he returns, as well as others. Take a listen to this.
We had a couple of folks who had some child molestation charges. We had an individual with a warrant for aggravated theft, but it's the gamut. It can go from just somebody who has a removal order with no criminality to somebody who has an active warrant for homicide.
What's interesting is that regardless of their background, whether they have this really violent past or whether they just overstayed a visa, they're all treated equally on these flights. So they are shackled in 3 places: on their wrists, around their waist, and also around their ankles. ICE says that's protocol, but it's also been labeled for years as a human rights violation, including from protesters that were actually outside the airport while this flight was taking off.
They cannot move. We have seen people sleeping from staircases. We have talked to people that have been in flights that they're not given food, they're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
So while we weren't able to verify those conditions on board, I mean, we saw them shuffling onto the flight with those shackles. And we do know that these flights are only going to increase. They have already this year. And the plans for ICE here in Seattle is that they'll continue to expedite these flights.
So about half of those 13 had violent crimes under their belt.
Yes.
Is that correct? And of that, of the 13, from your, I know you probably didn't get the records of it, from your eyes, how many of the 13 were Latino, Hispanic, and things like that?
They had told me, ICE had told me that the majority were from Mexico or El Salvador, I believe. So we watched them. It was mostly men. I think there was one woman going onto that flight. And I will say that what was interesting, this is not a direct deportation flight out of the country. This is what's called a shuffle flight. So this is something that they do every day where they're shuffling people to different detention centers, either to get them closer to their final deportation flight, or maybe there's not capacity at the facility, or they have medical needs that Seattle can't meet.
And as you were witnessing this and asking the questions, what else stood out to you?
I think one thing that I was really struck by is the emotion, or rather lack of, on the tarmac, because this is a life-altering event for every single person on that flight. ICE, they described it as routine and uneventful. They said, you know, they have these logistics in place to try to make them as seamless as possible. I tried to speak to some of the detainees getting on board, and there really was not a whole lot of emotion. I mean, there was no tears. They just kind of shuffled onto the flight. I asked, you know, do you have any final words? And most said no.
Wow. Gwen Baumgardner, thank you so much. Appreciate your reporting on this. Well, there was a lot of emotion from the wife of a man in Friday Harbor who was arrested by ICE agents while he was on his way to pick up his daughter, and she spoke with NBC News.
He hasn't done anything wrong other than not being born in this country.
Rachel Leidig is a ball of emotions. Her husband, 35-year-old Guillermo Lemes Cardoso y Silva, or Guy, was detained on San Juan Island in Washington on Friday.
He was recording as this was going on, and there was a larger agent behind him who took his phone, took him out of the car, and pushed him against the car and handcuffed him. All the other ICE agents were masked behind him, laughing and saying that they were glad they didn't make the news this time.
Originally from Brazil, Guy is a Sausalito-based artist who has painted murals across the Bay Area and the country. Rachel says Guy has no criminal record or warrants. She says he's in the green card application process and trying to get his work permit renewed.
I really hope I can get out of here very soon because I have my family to take care of.
This is happening to so many people. We need him. Our little boy needs him, and I just don't want to go through this without him.
You know, when I hear that and we talk about the Republican National Convention, and during that time, this is when Donald Trump was running to be president of the United States, and there were signs being held up about mass deportations, and they talked about how he planned to, if and when he became president, he planned to close the borders, he planned to deport so many folks that are here in this country. He said that he'd do those things. I think there's a lot of people that didn't believe him. I think there are a lot of people that voted for him, and because we've never, at least I've never seen this. Yes, President Obama did deport a lot of people during that time, but he didn't deport him in this way, right? Where we are seeing fear brought to neighborhoods all over the country. And Ursula, I just really believe that there are a lot of people that didn't think it would go this way. And here's what you have to do. You have to buckle up, because this is being done on the $5 billion allocated towards ICE. After the bill has been voted on, there's going to be $70+ billion allocated to ICE. So what you're seeing right now will multiply. Because I know sometimes people are thinking, well, you know, this won't last for a while. Oh, yes, it will. It will continue to last for a while, because this is the perfect red meat to distract so many
for what's really also going on with tariffs and all the bad policies. When the big, beautiful bill, the bill goes through next year when people lose health benefits, all kinds of stuff.
Well, have you heard of this Dignity Act? I heard this while I was driving around yesterday, and Chef looked into it for us. And so there are some GOP lawmakers who are now realizing, wait a minute, we can't get rid of all undocumented workers because there are some businesses or farms or care facilities that need some of these people who are not documented. And so there's this new bipartisan bill called the Dignity Act that would offer a path to legal status. So not citizenship, which is a big distinction, but for millions of undocumented immigrants who've lived here since 2020. In return, it would add new border enforcement rules. It would mandate nationwide use of E-Verify, and it would make the asylum processing faster, but also stricter. But essentially, they're saying, for some of these different professions, people applying under the Dignity program would have to pay thousands of dollars in fees. They would have to prove that they are in good standing every 2 years, and they would have to forfeit access to federal benefits even while paying a special tax. And if they complete the program, they would earn something called dignity status. Again, so they wouldn't be under threat of deportation. They would have permission to work and to travel, but that would not give them a chance to become a citizen, and they would have no ability to sponsor family. But they could stay here and work. And I heard one lawmaker say, they could work the jobs that Americans don't want to do, but we need these workers here.
Right.
So no path to citizenship, but you could stay here legally. I would love to hear your thoughts.
I think that my thoughts don't matter. And what I mean by that is the reason why I'm saying my thoughts don't matter is because who am I? But you know whose thoughts would matter? Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. You want to know?
Your thoughts matter.
The reason why I'm bringing them up, because it feels and seems like anytime they bark, right? There feels and seems like there's a real bite. Like it feels like our big companies in America run this country.
Yeah. Well, I think they're saying basically we need help. And so the Dignity Act, which is bipartisan, they're saying, if you're here undocumented, we're not going to deport you because we need you to work here, but you aren't going to, this is not your path to citizenship. This just means we won't deport you.
Yeah. Well, I'm just curious, Ursula, in 2023, there was $90-something billion paid into taxes with undocumented immigrants. Will we see that number increase or decrease? And what will that mean for our country? Hey, coming up next, what really makes a great neighborhood? We have talked about, look, I'm just going to say it. We have talked about Denny Blaine Park. And we got to talk about it again because we weren't going to talk about it at first because I said I didn't care, but Ursula made me care. I'll tell you what happens next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
Stay ahead of our summer traffic nightmare with Chris Sullivan's Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru.
We've been warning you for more than a year, and now the month of hell is upon us. Northbound I-5 is going to be closed across the Ship Canal Bridge this weekend, followed by a month of lane closures. It is going to be ugly. I'll tell you how to get through it on Choke Points tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
One of the smartest upgrades that you can make for your aging parents or your own family is a safer shower and doing it before they have an accident. Bathfitter makes a tub-to-shower conversions simple and fast. Bathfitter's custom tub-to-shower conversion can be done in just one day, and they do take care of removing your old tub or shower. And a lot of folks are surprised by that, but they make it as easy as possible, and it's so simple to make your bath so much safer. A walk-in shower really reduces risks of slipping and falling, and Bathfitter offers solutions so there's no step over ledge, which again makes it a lot safer for getting in and out, and that becomes a big problem as you get a little bit older. Bathfitter is holding their milestone sale right now to celebrate completing 42,000 installations in Western Washington. including mine. So celebrate with payments as low as $125 a month. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com today. This special offer won't last long.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Progressive knows when you're in your RV, you're already on vacation. That's when you become Vacation You, who just camped where there's absolutely no shade. Even though regular you burns easily. In fact, Vacation You burns too, but is too stubborn to admit it, which is why regular you gets in trouble at the dermatologist, because Vacation You doesn't do doctors. So bundle your RV with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Tired of sitting on your suitcase? 2 words. Packing cubes. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway, an alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. Now open and free through summer.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. The Trump administration's controversial push for mass deportation continues. KIRO News Radio's Gwen Baumgartner got an exclusive look at Seattle's latest deportation flight, happening as dozens of community members gathered in protest.
Engines roar at King County's Boeing Field as 13 adult detainees board a deportation flight, more than half with a criminal history, says Seattle's ICE Field Director Kamala Walmsley.
Aggravated homicide, folks who have been charged with child molestation. We have some theft charges. That's part of why the requirement is that everybody is handcuffed.
Each shackled around their wrists, waists, and ankles. Outside the airport perimeter, protesters gathered, calling the restraints one of many ongoing human rights violations.
We have talked to people that have been in flights that they're not given food, they're not allowed to go to the bathroom, they're yelled at.
Both protesters and ICE noting a significant increase in arrests and local deportation flights this year. Gwen Baumgartner, KIRO News Radio.
Ongoing outcry about a new policy that blocks some detainees from getting bond hearings. Now the Justice Department says it will strip non-English services offered by the federal government, which currently includes everything from emergency warnings to weather forecasts. Representative Pramila Jayapal is adding her voice to the Epstein file controversy. A simple post by the congresswoman from Washington on X reads, "Release the Epstein files." She appeared on CNN's Situation Room with Pamela Brown this morning.
I'm not sure I trust a special counsel that's appointed by Pam Bondi, who seems to be involved in the cover-up. So I guess that's the question. How do we get these files released? How do we make sure that the American public sees what is in these files, including that client list that apparently was there and now is no longer there?
She says she also asked for the documents released during the Biden administration. If you were in Bellevue or Issaquah last night, you may have heard this. Army Chinook helicopters making repeat flights as late as midnight. According to a spokesperson at Joint Base Lewis McChord, it was just a standard training flight. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, a tough morning for commuters on the Muckelty and Clinton route, and that is an ongoing issue, so we're starting with that first. The state ferries announcing the route will remain on one boat service until further notice due to necessary maintenance. Everywhere else, it is a nice light drive. Federal Way to Seattle, 45 minutes. Linwood to Seattle, 32 minutes on I-5 South. Bothell to Bellevue, 36 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 29 minutes on 405 northbound, and Bellevue to Renton, 23 minutes. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunny and a high of 92 in Seattle. Small breezes may provide some relief. 86 tomorrow and mostly sunny. It is 81 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a toasty Wednesday. I hope you're staying cool out there. Text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. The question we had for you is, what makes a great neighborhood? Do you live in a great neighborhood, and what makes it so wonderful? So I want to ask you, Gee, first of all, what are you looking for in a neighborhood? And I know you've been eyeing one in particular, and you plan to move there.
First, let me give a shout out to my neighborhood that I currently live in.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a cul-de-sac, awesome people. I was talking to my man Larry yesterday, and he was sitting in his chair watering the grass. And I told him, both he and his wife were standing there, and I told him they looked like a sitcom. He looked like a sitcom, just watering the grass in his chair. That's what happens when you retire. So what makes a good neighborhood for me are usually your neighbors, your people around you, right? Outside of your home, hey, Larry, hey, Susan, that makes a great neighborhood. I'll tell you what don't make a great neighborhood is what you're getting ready to tell us about at that one park over there.
Okay, well, I'll save that for a second here.
Okay.
Because for me, it is not only good neighbors, although I will admit that there are stretches of time when I barely see my neighbors or I barely talk to them, with the exception of one. My very next door neighbor is awesome, and I actually consider her to be a real friend in addition to being a neighbor.
Okay.
But, I mean, there were stretches of time, especially when you're working a lot and everyone's working, that you really don't get to know your neighbors, which I think is a shame.
True.
But when it's walkable, when you have a lot of parks nearby, I think that makes a great neighborhood. I love that if you don't have to get into your car to go to a nearby store. You need to have a store nearby.
Yeah,
You need to have
that.
parking available. And I don't know, do you like to have a lot of trees in your neighborhood or not a lot of trees in your neighborhood? And that's a dumb question to ask, maybe it sounds like, but I lived in Ballard, which parts of Ballard don't have a lot of trees, and I loved it.
Oh, okay.
But I also like a lot of sunshine, and I like a lot of natural light. And for me, one of the turnoffs is when it gets too shady, when there are too many trees.
Right.
So, for you, is that important to have a lot of trees? And
I appreciate, I better understand trees now. And so, give me some trees. Plant some trees.
Yes.
I love that now.
Yes.
Especially on a day like today.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No doubt about it.
Exactly. Okay. But how would you feel now this morning?
Yeah.
When we talked about this Denny Blaine Park story, Gee's your initial reaction was, I don't care about it. Because I said, this is one of the top read stories in Seattle Times, and we haven't gotten to it. We've been meaning to talk about it for the last couple of days, and we just haven't gotten around to it.
Right.
And I said, Gee, I think you would care if Denny Blaine Park was in your future neighborhood.
Point Ruston.
That's
where I'm going.
Yeah, you love that place. And I said, what if you had this park and they were doing some of the things that are allegedly happening at this park? How would you feel? So KIRO 7 TV spoke with a park goer who was reacting to this judge's decision to basically give the city of Seattle 2 weeks to turn in a plan of how to address nudity and sex acts that are happening at Denny Blaine Park, where they have this area where nudists can go.
Yeah.
And this is what this park goer said to KIRO 7 TV.
It became a safe place for people and people on the sexual spectrum. And then all these creepy old guys came and started misbehaving in public.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about openly pleasuring themselves, that kind of thing. And so this was a reaction by Mayor Bruce Harrell.
What we try to do is just make it clear through our law department, our position that, we recognize the historical significance of that park. We also I've made it very clear that some of the unacceptable behavior, some of the lewd behaviors, there's no place for that at any park.
Okay, so when I brought up this park going next to your future home, then you had a lot to say.
No. And you made me care because I couldn't. I just want to just say this. It's obviously, we've talked about this Denny Blaine Park for a while now. I have heard what it used to be. And right now, it is not what it used to be. If I were paying money to live down there, hey, Chef, Ursula, Nick, hey, you and your family, come on over for the 4th or come on over for Labor Day. And you guys do a separate text thread that says, I ain't going over there. Do you know what you see when you're in their backyard? You'd be seeing all kinds of situations. You know what I'm saying?
The kids playing in the backyard like, hey, Dad, what's going on over there? What's happening?
I would be heated. I would be angry. So it's one of those things, we've said it on the show, Chef threw it at me a second ago. It's all fun and games until it impacts you. And I got to tell you, I would not be happy if that impacted me. You got to change what's the rules of engagement and what's going on with this park. And like the mayor said, any park, no park should be having situations happen that way. I wanted to say another word, but there's no park, Ursula, that should have this happening. So no, I would not be excited. Someone texted in and said a good neighborhood, Jeff says, a good neighborhood is one without an aggressive HOA that goes way too far enforcing unreasonable rules. To which I gotta say,
I agree, Jeff. I agree.
My man Larry is the president of the HOA of my neighborhood.
Right? And you like the rules?
Oh, I love the rules, but everybody follows the rules. It's an entire neighborhood of rule followers. You don't have broke down cars everywhere. And, it's cool.
Mm-hmm. 206 texted and said, what makes a great neighborhood is a lot of spaces that inspire community gathering. I think there's a lack of that in a lot of neighborhoods throughout Seattle, but I enjoy being out in my community and knowing my neighbors, knowing the local shop owners, and being able to just find a place to relax in a public space and watch my community engage with that area. I will tell you that over the weekend, after I went to the Storm game, we rushed back because we were having a block party, and it was right in front of my house. And that was awesome. And there was a lot of turnover in our neighborhood, and so I got a chance to meet a lot of new people.
See? That's awesome.
It's great.
I'm at that. I think we all go through periods and stages. You made the comment about when you were working a lot, you didn't get to. There used to be a time that I didn't care to see neighbors. You know what I mean? I don't care. Now, as I keep walking down at Point Ruston every day, which, by the way, every afternoon, that's where I am, walking. Hello, future neighbor. Hello.
I love that. Hey, Dave said, you guys make it sound like it's all that's going on is inappropriate behavior. No. I mean, but unfortunately, the folks who are doing the inappropriate behavior are, once again, ruining it for the folks who just want a little bit of nudity.
Yep. Let me get out of this segment before I get in trouble. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, we do have scenarios. Have you ever been smitten by baby fever? We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio is right there with you.
A big story developing this morning.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We get the latest live from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Huge impacts for Boeing and Boeing workers.
The office, the gym, anywhere.
Water, like taxes, goes all the way down to the bottom, so it'll either come out of the employee's paycheck or the lack of raise.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
You used to see Chanel glasses everywhere. Not anymore. Chanel has moved away from mass distribution and focusing on being exclusive. Hey, it's G. Scott. Urban Eyes over there in the heart of Kirkland Urban. They now have limited edition, boutique exclusive Chanel framed glasses out there. Urban Eyes right now, they are a verified retailer. Handcrafted in Italy. Chanel uses high-end materials and precision laser etching, ensuring luxury in every piece. Worn by stars like Kendrick Lamar, Chanel eyewear is the ultimate statement piece. So it is maybe time for you to go and elevate your style over at Urban Eyes. Dr. Dana and her team are waiting for you right now. Why wait? This is your chance right now. I mean, it's hot, so why not have some frames that are hot? Okay, that was a little corny, but I'll admit you have to go elevate your style over there at Urban Eyes. Head to Urban Eyes or book your appointment at myurbaneyes.com.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind and the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Everyone needs their own spot in the sun. It doesn't have to be big. Sometimes just enough for a chair, a book, and a cup of coffee. You might have a decking issue to solve, or maybe you're looking for a trellis. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready to help you plan your next outdoor living project, free of charge. Stop by your local Dunn Lumber to get started on your next outdoor living project, or contact me personally, Mike Dunn, at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Jazz Funk Soul hits Dimitro's Jazz Alley this week, July 17th through 20th. Jeff Lorber, Everett Harp, and Paul Jackson Jr. bring the groove with 6 shows celebrating their new album, Simpatico. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
The Battle of the Brands Hot Tub Expo is back. Tacoma Mall parking lot. Top brands competing for your business. Deep discounts from Jacuzzi Hot Tubs, Dreammaker Spas, Nordic Hot Tubs, Sundance Spas, even Hydro Pool self-cleaning swim spas. In stock and ready for immediate delivery. Save thousands. Hot tubs from $99 a month. Brands compete. You save. The Battle of the Brands Expo, presented by Aquaquip. Tacoma Mall parking lot. On now. Qualified buyers with credit approval pay just $99 a month for a Dreammaker Cabana with $500 deposit, 10.99%, and 144-month term. Other offers available. See us at Tacoma Mall for more details.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Let's get it.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My wife has a severe case of baby fever, and I don't know how to handle it. When we first got together, we agreed about not wanting kids. But since her sister had a daughter, she's spending a lot of time babysitting her niece. And she's starting to change her mind about the whole kid situation. I've got 5 kids from previous relationships, and she knew I wanted no more. But now she's always talking about it, and I don't know how long I can handle all of this talk about babies. Honestly, this changes everything. I love her and want to be with her, but I do not want more kids. Should I let it roll and hope it passes, or tell her directly that if she wants kids, she's with the wrong guy? 888-973-5476. Ursula, you up to bat first.
Whew. Okay, so the baby fever is one thing, and I can see how his wife is feeling it now because the sister has it, and she said she wasn't interested or agreed with him because of his 5 kids from previous relationships. And going in, she said, yeah, that's fine. But now she's realizing she really wants them. And I think he needs to stand firm. Don't have another child just for the reason to make her happy. Understand that that would be unfair to that child. Mm-hmm. But I think they have to make a decision. Do we stay together? If this is not just a passing thing, if she really has changed her mind and he's a no-go, either he changes her mind or she changes her mind.
Ursula had a homie, got together with his significant other in their early 20s. After 10 years, she wanted the baby.
Yep.
He did not want it.
Yep.
She left him.
Yep. And that's likely what's going to happen.
Yep.
You have the right to change your mind.
Yep.
And
Man.
if that was the agreement, he has the right to say, well, it's not me.
It's a rough situation. No, I don't have any advice for that. That's rough because it happens. It's normal.
It does.
You can feel one way. I mean, let's be real. Are we the same in our early 20s as we are in our early 30s? No. We change. So that's tough.
Not to mention hormones change also.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I'm going to make a sweeping statement, and that is when a couple agrees before they get married that they're not going to have kids, if someone is going to change their mind about it, it's going to be the woman. And you just have to be aware of that. Like, if you get into a relationship and have an agreement that we're not going to have kids, she may change her mind. I think guys are much, much less likely to change their mind about that. Just basic biology.
Well, exactly.
That is a complete deal breaker. There's nothing you can do about that.
And
it's not a puppy, you know?
Exactly. And the worst idea would be to have a kid to appease her when you absolutely don't want to have another child.
Yeah.
Or you're already having a tough time dealing with responsibilities with your 5 previous children. Or with children with your previous relationships, right? I mean, you don't just keep compounding the problem.
Yeah. Well, that's a rough scenarios right there. Now, Nick, are you able to weigh in on this, sir?
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? If you've already got 5 kids in the equation and she wants more, it sounds like you're on 2 different planets right now. And I'm not so sure she really has the true baby fever. If she already knows you need to make time for 5 already, so if she loves the idea more than you, hate to break it to you, but it's not worth it, and you should let her find the baby fever somewhere else. Baby. Unless you want 6 or more. I did discount that idea, but I feel like you don't really want that.
Oh, that's good stuff, Nick. Hey, Ursula, we were talking about Denny Blaine Park.
Yes.
And it seems like somebody texted in to you.
Yes. Okay, so just to reset in case you missed it, we said, both you and I were on the same page. Yeah, we would not want to live next to a park if there was lewd acts going on. Right? And that's what is allegedly happening at Denny Park. I mean, there are a lot of folks who have used that park for many years, and it's an area that is known for nudity at that park, and it's been long used in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy in the 206 says, homeowners who complain about the nude beach knew or should have known that it was a nude beach. It's been an unofficial nude beach since around 1970. It's like someone who buys a house in the airport flight path, then they complain about airport noise. Nudity is legal in Seattle. To solve the problem, put the undercover officer there for a few days and arrest those who pleasure themselves in public. Problem solved. What do you think?
Okay. Jimmy in the 206, I hear you, but it sounds like it is getting, and it has gotten extremely worse. It's not just one-offs anymore or freak-offs or anything like that. It is really a Diddy thing.
I'm going to try not to step into it with this particular topic, but Jimmy has a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you could solve that problem itself, I wouldn't have an issue with the nude beach. I would just have the problem with the lewd acts.
Mm-hmm.
So if they could stop that and actually enforce that part of it,
right.
Not a fun assignment, but enforce that part, because that is illegal, then maybe both sides can be happy.
You always want to come up with a compromise.
I do want to come up with a compromise.
All right.
So he might be onto something.
Take that. Hey, coming up next in 11 o'clock hour, at 11:30, we will have Agree to Disagree. But up in Snohomish County, housing development sparks traffic concerns. Next, Gee Ursula.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit blowingclassic.com for more.
Coolers leaking in rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
In the market for a new car? Ursula Reutin here. Carter Subaru has the vehicle you've been searching for with over 300 new vehicles in stock, including the 2025 Forester, now with 3.9% financing for 48 months, or take advantage of the federal tax credit before it goes away. Lease a 2025 Subaru Solterra and receive a credit of up to $7,500.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. Not all buyers will qualify for federal tax credit. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/25.
Want to cut your home energy bills, breathe cleaner air, and improve comfort? The answer, AeroSeal from Home Comfort Alliance. This advanced process seals leaks in your ductwork, improving efficiency and air quality. Normally $2,500. Right now, for PSC customers, get AeroSeal for as little as $99 when they install a furnace or heat pump. Plus, save up to 25% on remaining 2024 heat pumps and air conditioners from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com today.
If you have aging parents, you've probably worried about their bathroom. That old tub? It's a slip and a disaster waiting to happen. Hi, this is Ursula Reutin. With Bathfitter, you can convert it into a walk-in shower, custom fit, installed in just one day, and backed by a lifetime warranty. No mess, no demo, just a safer, better bathroom. Call Bathfitter today or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule your free consultation. And right now, take advantage of 0% interest for 24 months.
The Battle of the Brands Hot Tub Expo is back. Tacoma Mall parking lot. Top brands competing for your business. Deep discounts from Jacuzzi Hot Tubs, Dreammaker Spas, Nordic Hot Tubs, Sundance Spas, even Hydro Pool self-cleaning swim spas. In stock and ready for immediate delivery. Save thousands. Hot tubs from $99 a month. Brands compete. You save. The Battle of the Brands Expo presented by Aquaclip. Tacoma Mall parking lot. On now. Qualified buyers with credit approval pay just $99 a month for a Dreammaker Cabana with $500 deposit, 10.99%, and 144-month term. Other offers available. See us at Tacoma Mall for more details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Michael Wallace. President Trump confirms he considered firing Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, but decided against it, at least for now.
President Trump has long complained the Fed chairman has been too slow to lower interest rates, but will he fire Jerome Powell?
She's doing a lousy job, but no, I'm not talking about that.
But just moments later,
I don't rule out anything, but I think it's highly unlikely.
Unless he said there's fraud, citing cost overruns in the renovation of the Fed's headquarters. He also said he did discuss Powell's future with members of Congress.
I said, what do you think? Almost every one of them said I should.
By law, the Fed chair can only be fired for cause. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The president is again lashing out at his own supporters who are calling for the release of more files in the Jeffrey Epstein case.
It's just a subject He's dead. He's gone. And all it is the Republicans, certain Republicans got duped by the Democrats, and they're following a Democrat playbook.
CBS's Scott McFarland.
For the Attorney General Pam Bondi, the FBI Director Kash Patel, and the Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino, they were three of the loudest voices calling for Epstein information release in 2024. Before they took office, before they assumed responsibility.
House Speaker Mike Johnson wants all the files in the Epstein case released. Some California farm workers have begun a 3-day strike. CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez explains why.
Well, these farm workers are making several demands. The main demand is to have Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Protection stop conducting large-scale immigration roundups in Southern California.
The workers are also urging Congress to approve a pathway to citizenship for farm workers. An estimated 40% of them are in the U.S. illegally. 20 Palestinians were killed today in a stampede at a food distribution site. CBS's Linda Gradstein has more from Jerusalem.
The Israeli and U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation said most of those killed were trampled to death and accused armed elements associated with Hamas of deliberately fomenting the unrest. The Hamas-run health ministry said some of the deaths were caused by tear gas fired by workers at the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation.
CBS's Michael George reports a new study finds certain exercises help you fight off insomnia.
Research published in the British Medical Journal found yoga, Tai Chi, walking, or jogging all had the biggest benefit to improving sleep quality and reducing insomnia. The study suggests exercise could be an alternative to conventional insomnia treatments like drugs and therapy. Yoga in particular led to nearly 2 extra hours of sleep time.
Wall Street has woken up after a slow start. The Dow's up 122 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hot trash all across the region. We'll tell you more about that, but just in one moment. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, we're looking pretty good still. No collisions or anything to tell you about. Just your standard slowing in and out of downtown Seattle, and a little bit of overflow slowing on 99 northbound through that tunnel. Federal Way to Seattle is 44 minutes on I-5. Linwood to Seattle, 35 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue sitting pretty at 35 minutes on 405 southbound, and Renton to Bellevue 29 minutes, fully recovered from an earlier collision in Newcastle today. This report brought to you by Kia of Everett. Over 400 tariff-free new Kias are available now at Kia of Everett with easy lease and financing options. Experience simple, easy fun at Kia of Everett today.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. No end in sight to the strike by Republic trash collectors. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson reports from a drop-off location in Bellevue where people were hauling their trash.
As the trash piles up, we're taking our garbage to the temporary dump. The lines grow long. A little over an hour. And the patience runs thin.
This is the worst possible time for this.
With the heat setting in, this dumpster at Little People's World is ripening by the hour.
We do have very small children, from infants to young toddlers, and so
Renton, Kent, and Linwood will also have drop-off days. Everyone can feel the mercury rising. Dr. Elizabeth Mead is a pediatrician with Swedish Hospital in Seattle. She says heat injuries are common, especially in the early summer among children.
Burns from hot pavement or metal. And with young kids, we need to be really mindful about protecting feet while walking and watching them closely to make sure they're not touching hot objects like metal chairs or railings that they might not be expecting to be so hot.
Doctor's orders: sunscreen, water, popsicles to keep safe and cool. Seattle police now have a fully operational real-time crime center. Analysts access surveillance cameras and other data to help officers on the street. Here's Chief Sean Barnes.
I stand on the side of crime prevention, not just responding to crime, but we want to ensure that we have less victims than we've had the year prior.
Graffiti, a scourge in Seattle. Now the city's fighting back. The city council just approved a new law targeting repeat offenders with civil fines up to $1,500 per violation to help with cleanup costs, which topped $6 million last year. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are going to heat up to about 92 degrees today. Cooler tomorrow at 86. Overnight lows this week in the high 50s. By Saturday, we're going to be 75 and cloudy. It is 82 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Good morning, everybody. It is hour 3 of the show. Happy Wednesday, July 16th. We're getting closer to Ursula's birthday party. Ursula, are you ready?
I'm almost ready. I'll never be fully ready. There's always got a bit of that anxiety about, what did I not remember?
What are you stressed about?
I'm not stressed. I'm really excited. The stress is that I forgot something.
Okay.
That I didn't think about something. But you know what? We'll wing it.
Okay.
I just want everybody to have a good time.
I got to figure out what I'm wearing.
Okay.
All right, what's going on at 11 o'clock hour?
Well, we've got Agree to Disagree coming up. I want you guys to still text us, though, what makes a great neighborhood.
Okay.
A lot of you folks, and we're going to be talking about a neighborhood that is fighting growth right now, and that's up in Snohomish County. We'll talk about that. But the other thing I'd love for you guys to still weigh in on is, what should I make for tonight's barbecue? The thought of turning on the grill just sounds awful when we're talking about 90-plus degrees.
I just love that you're cooking.
Yeah, my family too. Text us 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So in Snohomish County, there is a big battle brewing between worried neighbors and one of the biggest housing developers in the country. So if you live near Snohomish or Mill Creek or the Cathcart area, you know how busy the roads are already in those areas. But what is going to happen if you add 1,300 more houses and apartments? We've got this story now from King 5's Eric Wilkinson.
Courtney Privet has to drive her son to school every day because administrators at Little Cedars Elementary won't allow any of the kids to walk because of troubling traffic.
It's just really dangerous.
Now comes a proposal that could increase traffic even more. A housing development called Eastview Village that would bring more than 1,300 houses and apartments with 61,000 square feet of retail. It would span 145 acres. That's 110 football fields or 58 city blocks. The main access road would run directly between Little Cedars and Glacier Peak High School. Thousands of additional trips every day.
They seem to completely dismiss the safety issues when it comes to the children. Yeah, it's way too much.
Irene Bia was in a traffic accident nearby that totaled her car. She can't imagine what the roads will be like if developers have their way.
I don't know where they're going to put all these cars. I don't know where they're going to put buses, ambulances, fire engines.
Feel their pain, but the county is saying we need tens of thousands of more units of housing. Neighbors are not backing down. They're raising money to go to battle in the courts against D.R. Horton.
You know, can I? This is a question for all of us. Why is there always seem like there's a fight against more housing being built?
Okay, are you for real asking that? Because if you live in a neighborhood that already has humongous traffic issues and parking issues and noise issues and pollution issues, and then now you're talking about adding 1,300 additional units, whether they're houses or apartments, what is that going to do to the already crappy situation?
Well, look.
That's the fear.
Yeah, I understand that. You see, if you go back in history, right, things were done differently, right? And now that you can't redline anyone anymore, people can live where they want to live. We talk about housing affordability, right? So the way homes and everything, the amount of space that you might have for your little kid to just be able to walk to school. I think that's great. I think those neighborhoods are awesome. Unfortunately, not every neighborhood can be that. we are going to have to, it says right here, the county must build 143,000 new affordable units by 2044. When we say 2044, sometimes I forget just how close that is. Like being serious. Like, I'm not the best with math, but that's 19 years away.
Exactly.
That's 19 years away. So we keep talking about those things, and we keep talking about we gotta chill out. The homelessness crisis, it keeps getting worse. It's getting worse. Okay.
So here are a couple of things. One would be, I'm all for growth if it is done in the right way, and that means having enough parking, which right now the state just passed a law, I believe. Didn't we just talk about this? Where there aren't as many requirements as in terms of, I mean, they're trying to take away some of the regulations, so there aren't as many requirements in terms of how much parking you need to make available when you build these big housing units. So you are going to add to traffic. And if you have this rural area where they only have two-way, like one lane in each direction, and now you're going to have this massive number of people coming in. I understand why people are reluctant, but the reality is, like you said, they're already predicting that they're going to need nearly 150,000 new units to meet demand, and we're only going to be talking about higher prices. We're going to talk about more people on the streets, and we are going to be talking about if we don't do the right kind of growth. We all have to take some of the burden.
And you only have limited places that you can do this, because we all know this ain't happening in Medina. We all know this isn't happening in Clyde Hill. We all know, you right now know the neighborhoods that this for sure would not happen in. So there are limited neighborhoods in which can get more affordable housing units.
Yeah, I got to push back a little bit because this is not just NIMBYism. There is not enough infrastructure built out in places like this, like in the Cathcart area. My in-laws live there, so I'm up there all of the time. Exactly your point, Ursula. 2-lane roads in and out. Yes. There might be one street, every half mile. It's huge blocks of land with 2 tiny roads. And if you look at 164th, it is a parking lot anytime except for the middle of the day and the middle of the night. The traffic on those back roads there, it can take you just as long to get from like Cathcart to I-5 as it can take to get from I-5 to Seattle. I mean, it is that bad. And there's no money in those city budgets or the county budgets to build out the roads. The state's not providing it. And yet they're saying you're mandated in having these these housing requirements. I mean, your kids can't walk to school. Like, they're not allowed. That's bad.
That is bad.
That's really bad.
If you talk about what makes a great neighborhood, if your kids cannot walk to school or you cannot get in and out of your neighborhood without dealing with just infuriating traffic, does not make for a good neighborhood.
This is going to happen in Sultan, Monroe, Gold Bar. This is going on.
This is what happens when you have so many years of neighborhoods being zoned improperly to appease and keep out and make it exclusive, right? This is what happens. So when you're trying to do things the right way, it's hard.
Well, the unfortunate thing, so Dina and Subner texted in and said, how about D.R. Horton being required to build the infrastructure before the homes are allowed to go in?
See, that's another thing, because if you require D.R. Horton to do that, then you're going to jack up the cost of each house by, $50,000 to $100,000 if they're responsible for building the roads, putting in the sewers and all of that stuff. And I assume that they do have to connect to the grid, but like the road work, that's a tough ask.
But then again, like with the airport, trying to site the airport where nobody, even in the rural areas, we're like, no, we don't want this airport here. What ends up happening if there's a strong enough pushback, now you have no place for an airport.
Yep.
At some point, we all have to take in. I look at what's happened in the city of Seattle, and the changes in zoning that have taken place, and what is allowed now. Even like when I say even in my neighborhood, it was single family units all around my neighborhood. Now we've got 4 and 5 properties within one lot.
Right.
That's becoming more and more the norm. Is it great? No. I mean, do we have higher buildings in areas where we didn't see them before, including the university district. Yes, I mean, these are changes that unfortunately have to be made to accommodate for all the people who have moved in.
And one thing we have talked about on this show about developers, and some of you probably listening, probably developers out there, let's be real. They make it really expensive on them. Everything that they have to go through, and then we wonder why the cost of a home is so expensive. Because they have to eat the cost of someone. This is why developers, we have them leaving the state and going elsewhere to do business because it's cheaper on them. By the way, your next topic's coming up, but I just want to say, for a topic like the Denny Blaine Park, the one I did not care about, this keeps coming back up.
Well, it keeps coming back. And you know what keeps coming back up? That the folks who actually use Denny Blaine Park and have used it for many, many years, they think that the complaints about lewd acts are highly exaggerated.
Susan in Seattle. Glad you said that.
Yes.
Perfect. You didn't even know what I was going to say.
Because I'm looking at the text line too.
Denny Blaine Beach. I live within a 10-minute walk from Denny Blaine. And when my children, who are now in their late to mid-30s, were young, we went there all the time. There were some nude people who tended to be rather discreet. It is nothing like that now. There are people masturbating, hooking up, etc. In the upper section, there are men laying on their backs with their legs spread wide apart, showing all that they have. My liberal son, who lives on the East Coast and hadn't been here for nearly 20 years, was here and went to Denny Blaine Beach, and he was absolutely horrified with what was going on and still talks about it. Also, now there are so many people who go there, and there used to be, I walk around the neighborhood, and on a nice day, cars are parked blocks away. And I see people who are obviously coming or going from the beach. It didn't used to be like that. People are not interested in that behavior. Will be at Madrona Beach.
Madrona Beach? Oh,
people. That's what she said.
Okay.
People who are not interested in that behavior will be at Madrona Beach.
Okay, so she is basically saying, yes, it is as bad as they say. And then there are folks who are saying, no, it's not as bad. So I think we need to take a Gee and Ursula Show field trip.
We should take a field trip, but before we do, I'll say this. Like my mom used to say, well, everybody ain't lying on you. I don't think, like, there has to be stuff.
Can both things be true? I mean,
no, actually, in this case, I think that Denny Blaine Park, Beach, whatever you want to call it, is worse today than it used to be. I believe that.
Mm-hmm. And I say we go make a field trip.
You want to make a field trip?
Yes. You know I do.
Okay.
You know I do.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about Okay, this is going to be
Do I need to come on with anything? Do I have a holster? Like, what do I bring
Denny
with me?
Blaine Park is in a beautiful area. Are you kidding me?
I know exactly what you bring.
I was thinking to myself. I said, self.
Let me see that
That's right. You already know.
Yes, I think we're gonna have to make a little trip down to Denny Blaine Park. Okay, now this is gonna be a hard transition, because I got to talk about Jeffrey Epstein now. And House Republicans have now twice blocked efforts to force the release of those infamous files, and it is causing all sorts of tension between President Trump and his MAGA base. And it's also giving Democrats a political opening that they want to exploit. According to Axios, Democrats have now introduced a procedural motion that would have required the DOJ to publish the Epstein documents online within 30 days. This was backed by Representative Ro Khanna of California. The vote was razor thin, 211 to 210, and was entirely along party lines, with every Republican who was present voting no. But the Democrats say they're not done. Massachusetts Representative Jim McGovern telling Axios that probably was not the last time that you're going to see us deal with this issue. And he accused the GOP of shielding President Trump from the fallout by keeping those documents hidden. You've been so fascinated with this because of all the machinations going on behind the scenes.
And what I'm fascinated by is that I didn't see this coming, right? I thought MAGA is down with Trump no matter what. It's like, you down with OPP? Yeah, you know me. I thought it was that kind of deal when it comes to MAGA. today, Ursula, President Trump, in an Oval Office meeting, I mean, this is what he said. He said, quote, "Some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net, and so they try and do the Democrats' work. I call it the Epstein hoax. Takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements we've had, they're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success that we're having with the economy." And for some reason, Ursula, check this out. That used to work.
It's not.
These podcasters, they used to be Team Trump. Nah, they're not playing this. Trump,
like Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly.
He's getting ratioed. Ratioed means if you make a post on X or any post where you have more comments than likes. He's never been. No, not ratioed on X. He got ratioed on Truth Social.
His own platform.
His own platform. So I talked to a MAGA buddy of mine. Now, I know we got MAGA folks that listen to the show. By the way, I got MAGA friends too.
Mm-hmm.
And Ursula, my one MAGA buddy told me, I said, man, I didn't see this coming. Why are y'all split? He said, gee, wearing Trump stuff used to be about strength. We look at Trump, it's about strength. If I look at that shirt or that hat wearing it now, it makes me feel like I am defending a pedophile. So he needs to address this. Now, that's just one of my friends. I'm not saying he speaks for all of MAGA, but Ursula, I never saw this coming.
Well, Speaker Mike Johnson, who I think is I'm going to say wet toast. What's a good way to...
Where are you going with that?
Speaker Mike Johnson is spineless, but he is telling Axios that he believes that they should put everything out there and let the people decide. I mean, that's like one of the strongest comments from him that I've heard. I mean, like he dared, but then again...
He voted
wait a
no.
minute, he voted no. I'm confused.
Can I read you a little quote real quick?
Yeah.
I've known Jeff Epstein for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Donald J. Trump. I mean, come on.
Hey,
I mean, they're going to be names of a lot of people. I mean, there could be.
Look, let me tell you what I think. As far as names, so check this out. If you want to go names, yes, the names, there will be the majority of those names will be coming from the left. Make no mistake about it. Epstein was a huge Democratic supporter. You feel me? So Hollywood, and you know how I feel about Hollywood and all that stuff. Yes, I'm saying, I'm putting my hand up. I believe there will be more people on the left that will be on that list. However, the problem is...
There might be some other people on there who seem to be wanting to distract us and wanting to have us move away from this whole thing, which makes it more suspicious.
Something on this has Donald Trump scared the same way Putin has him scared. You notice he's not scared of Putin anymore. And the reason why is because he doesn't need Putin anymore. He doesn't need him. He's got the money. But this right here has got him. Hey. Kate texts in, says, "You down with DJT? Yeah, you know me."
Well, here's the other thing. We're losing sight of what really matters, and there are a lot of victims, a lot of young victims who have not seen justice.
But there's no list.
So they say.
I'm just hard. It's hard for me to understand. When did they lie? Did they lie then or did they lie now?
I mean, over 10,000 videos and images, but, no list.
Yeah. All right. We're late. Agree to disagree. Next, Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. Stay ahead of our summer traffic nightmare with Chris Sullivan's Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru.
We've been warning you for more than a year, and now the month of hell is upon us.
Northbound I-5 is going to be closed across the Ship Canal Bridge this weekend, followed by a month of lane closures. It is going to be ugly. I'll tell you how to get through it on Choke Points tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hey, golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BlowingClassic.com for more.
This could be the oddest gift anyone's ever given me.
But I'll bet you use it.
When the time is right, I suppose.
That's the idea.
A plunger.
An Apollo plumbing plunger.
Free for me?
Actually, free to everyone we visit.
Because?
We believe some things you can do on your own.
And if this plunger can't fix it?
Apollo Plumbing will.
Just like that.
You call, we come. It's fixed.
Wouldn't you rather I just call?
You're welcome to.
Okay.
But for a simple backup?
Something I can solve myself?
Try your free plunger.
I'll admit it's kind of spiffy.
Apply a little pressure.
And if it still won't clear?
Call Apollo Plumbing.
The Ready Right Now plumbers.
Our big blue trucks come stocked full of fixes.
And a plunger-wielding plumber.
A clean screen trained and trustworthy Apollo plumber.
They come in a jiffy?
Arriving when promised to put plumbing problems in your past.
And give me a free plunger.
That too.
You know, I kind of like this plunger.
I'm sure it'll come in handy.
Just like Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
The Mariners are back in action at T-Mobile Park, and you can be there for big moments all summer long with a Flex membership. Flex plans are perfect for fans who want the freedom to choose their games and seats as they go, while still enjoying all the perks of being a member, like saving 10% or more on tickets with no fees, unlocking access to exclusive pre-sales and year-round discounts, and so much more. Join the squad today at mariners.com/flex.
Cal Raleigh wins it in the 10th inning for the Mariners.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no-clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Need a new roof, a deck, siding, windows? Get up to $3,000 off any new installation. Hi, it's Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Home projects can add up fast, but we're here to help you save big. Book now and lock in up to $3,000 off in savings. That's $3,000 off any new installation. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Washington is leading 19 other states in a lawsuit against the Trump administration, the second lawsuit filed this week.
The suit argues that FEMA's Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities, or BRIC program, was illegally shut down, cutting billions in disaster mitigation funding. Washington Attorney General Nick Brown says the cut endangers the communities most vulnerable to natural disasters. Our state alone has 27 open BRIC projects, totaling $182 million, and Brown says nearly 3/4 of that funding goes to small towns and rural communities, funding projects like evacuation shelters, flood walls, and fortifying bridges. Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
The Senate is using floor time today to discuss a bill clawing back previously approved funding for public broadcasting and foreign aid programs. The upper chamber narrowly voted to advance the package yesterday after a tie-breaking vote from Vice President J.D. Vance. Congress faces a final deadline of Friday to pass the legislation. There's been a political firestorm in Washington, D.C. over whether President Donald Trump will fire Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve. President Trump has long complained that the Fed chairman has been too slow to lower interest rates. He confirmed for reporters that he spoke to lawmakers about getting rid of Powell, even though federal law says the chair can only be fired for cause. More arrests, more deportations, and more calls for transparency. KIRO News Radio's Gwen Baumgartner gets an exclusive look at the latest ICE flight from Boeing Field.
The first half of this year showing a 33% increase in deportation flights out of Boeing Field compared to 2024. That's according to King County flight logs. But immigrant rights group La Resistencia alleges underreporting that their volunteers tracked nearly 75% more flights.
We cannot rely on ICE. They will never give us information.
A spokesperson with the organization alleging a lack of transparency from ICE along with human rights violations such as multiple restraints. During an interview from the tarmac, we witnessed each detainee shackled on their wrist, waist, and ankles. ICE Field Director Kamala Walmsley acknowledged a flight increase with more to come.
I'm hoping that we will be getting more staff, more deportation officers, more enforcement and removal assistance.
Gwen Baumgartner, KIRO News Radio.
More heartbreak for Seattle NBA fans. Commissioner Adam Silver says the league is still studying an expansion.
Of course, the non-economic issues include dilution of talent, how it could potentially affect competition around the league if we were to expand.
So no return of the Sonics just yet. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 0.28%. And from the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk, we have a new collision in Tukwila, northbound I-5 at South 200th Street. A couple miles of a backup, but not too dense at this point. And then getting in and out of Seattle is pretty moderate. Still a little bit of slowing on 405 northbound from the Renton Landing up into Newcastle. But Lake Bridges are clear. All the way up to Everett is clear. And we're looking at a very clear South Sound Drive, just a little slowing I-5 southbound around JBLM. This update brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Of course, we've got that heat, 92 degrees today, tomorrow 86 degrees. It is 86 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's time for us to agree to disagree.
Wait, before you get to
Yes,
During the break, I said something to Chef and Ursula, and they don't believe me. what I said was somebody's old lady is what I meant. It was what I said.
And I called you rude.
And she called me rude, like, hey, that's not old. And to which I said, have you ever heard someone say, hey, that's my old lady right there? And you guys didn't believe me.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we've heard that.
Yeah, we've heard that. I just think
didn't believe it in the context that you said it.
Thank you. In the context that you said it, it's like me trying to explain my redheaded comment. The more I kept trying to explain it, the more y'all were telling me, yeah, just keep sticking your foot in it.
But who I was talking about is, hey, that old lady, that's somebody's old lady.
Who's, by the way, younger than me. Oh, also, by the way, rude. And by the way, someone else texted in.
What did they say?
And said, hey, if G doesn't want to go to that beach with you, I'll go with you.
Oh.
We're going to do a field trip. Anyway, it is time to do Agree to Disagree.
Okay, before you do get to Agree to Disagree, I want to tease this before we get to the end of the show. Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank, his office did reach out back to me, and they said that there's a potential he could join us tomorrow morning. I'm not sure if that's going to go through or not, but definitely tune in tomorrow morning because we may have an opportunity to interview him and have him give him the opportunity to speak for himself.
That would be great.
Yes,
okay,
let's get to
so
Agree
we'll
to
remind
Disagree.
you too.
Yep.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Okay, I'm going to go in a completely different and wild direction today. I saw that Chuck E. Cheese is opening arcades for adults. Seriously. Yeah, not in this state yet. Basically, the difference is that, of course, they serve booze and they have food, and it's not just the arcade games. But I want to ask you guys how appropriate you think things like arcade games and Pokemon cards and baseball cards are for kids. Because I don't like Matthew going to arcades because I think they teach kids to gamble.
You're not wrong.
No.
The first thing that I thought of when you brought this up, the first thing that I thought of when you talked about Chuck E. Cheese and doing it for adults, I said, casinos already exist.
That's immediately what came into your mind?
That was the first thing that I thought of. When I used to love taking the boys to Chuck E. Cheese, once they kind of got acclimated to the amount of noise that you have to endure at Chuck E. Cheese, it's pretty overwhelming. It's very loud.
Right.
But once they got over that part, then it was all about those tickets. Oh my God, more money, more tickets. It was like watching them, I thought, oh my goodness, this is like a toddler casino. Okay, why are you looking like I'm crazy? Because the same thing. It's like a games of chance. You're waiting for that dopamine hit.
You got the randomized rewards like the claw machines and the ticket wheels.
What I'm, let me tell you something. There's some of us, and I think maybe most of you are Gen X. I don't care how old you are. When you see Chuck E. Cheese, you think of an amazing time in your life. Chuck E. Cheese has been good to me. Now, I'm talking about the pizza parties. I'm talking about the games, everything. Chuck E. Cheese was, to me, the equivalent of the same way kids, oh, my goodness, we're going to Disneyland? Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese was like Disneyland. So the fact that they want to bring it back for adults, come on. I only ask one thing. When I was younger, the pizza was good. I don't know if you're going to get away with that same pizza with me anymore. But I used to rock the Chuck E. Cheese
they
pizza.
have good salads and everything. Because you remember, you have to feed the adults so that they can keep giving the kids all the coins and then spending all that money on those games of chance. Now, again, I'm not like you, though, Chef.
Mm-hmm.
I took my kids there, and they loved it.
Yeah.
And I would still take, eventually, future grandkids to an arcade if it's okay with their parents. And it was a good time, like G said. It's great memories. But I'm not surprised that they're doing this for adults. Why? Look what's happening with these trends. You've heard about the whole Labubu craze.
Huh? The what?
The what?
Labubu craze.
What is that?
Please explain. Hurry up.
It's
Explain that.
collectible designer plush toy. They look like little monster elves. It's created by some Hong Kong Belgian designer, and it's all the thing right now. I met with a friend who just bought a Labubu up north, up in Marysville. I'm
like
not joking.
Plushies for
There's
adults?
like collectibles. Yes, it's a thing. And these are for adults. And they collect them and then they hang them off their purses. So,
what?
Oh! Are they like a little stuffed animal?
Yes, it's here.
It's like a beanie baby.
Stop!
Yes, you've seen it.
It's
a trend.
That.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
I wish we could put it on YouTube right now.
I have seen that.
What is with the childization of adulthood these days? It's like video games, arcades, toys, Legos, all that stuff.
It's like guys in their video games or whatever it is. It brings you back to a more innocent time.
I want to there needs to be a discussion after we get off the show today. I need you all to take this back to your jobs and back to your families and then your text chats. Chef said something that I never thought about it. I disagreed at first. Chef said that video arcades, kind of, it could be the gateway to gambling for kids. And so when he first said it, I was like, Ursula, I don't know about that. But now I'm starting to think about it because I ain't gonna lie, Chuck E. Cheese, the tickets, boy.
Do you remember how much we would pay? It was not cheap.
But I don't gamble today.
Yeah.
But I do say that is kids' first introduction to gambling. I think I'm going to agree with that.
Yeah, if you have a propensity, if you have that kind of addictive behavior.
Yeah.
It might be a problem. Carlin Wilkeson is like you, though. He says, I grew up in the arcade, and I don't even buy a $1 lotto ticket.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, great.
Well, my son, like the bowling alley by us, the Linwood Bowling Alley, they have arcade games there now and the claw machine and everything. He'll go to birthday parties, and he won't want to hang out with the kids. No. He won't want to bowl. No. He won't want to skate. He just wants to be like
hyper-focused on how many tickets can you get.
Yep.
You know
like,
what?
You can't be doing this, dude.
I'm gonna ask that question on my Facebook. That's a very good point there, Chef. All right. We totally had one question for Agree to Disagree today. That was awesome. All right. Your text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's word to live by.
You listen to Charlie and Manda on Seattle's Morning News every morning. What do they listen to every afternoon?
I listen to John all the time when I'm driving home, driving my kids around.
I also listen to the John Curley Show, and even by the end of the day, I still like to keep my brain active, and he's very good at doing that.
John, first of all, is hilarious. I never know where this dude is coming from.
The perfect bookends to your daily commute with KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO Newsradio app.
We're all wanting to make sure that our dollar stretches as much as possible. And if you are in the market for a new car, you want to make sure that you are going to get a great vehicle and a great value, too. And that's exactly what you're going to get at Carter Subaru, and it is why we are repeat customers. When you buy a car at Carter Subaru, it is always a hassle-free experience. I love that. No pushy sales tactics. The customer service is always excellent. They will treat you like family, and it is why I feel so confident in recommending them to you. Carter Subaru has the vehicle that you've been searching for with over 300 new vehicles in stock. That includes the 2025 Forester, now with 3.9% financing for 48 months. You'll also want to take advantage of the federal tax credit before it goes away. You can lease a 2025 Subaru Solterra and get a credit of up to $7,500.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. Not all buyers will qualify for federal tax credit. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 7/31/25.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, we've got a new administration. What have we seen as a result at the IRS?
Well, the result that I think everyone is seeing is, unfortunately, reduction in staff.
And yet people think that because of those reductions, they're in a better spot.
Well, it's not necessarily the case because the IRS is still going to work with the staff that they have. And in fact, their collection activity is going up.
But now is also the best time to get something done that could be favorable to the taxpayer who owes.
It's very interesting. I've had 2 cases now that I was able to get settled with the IRS fairly quickly and with some excellent results. I think they're just trying to get any case where there's a real live person working on it through the system quicker. They're needing to handle a lot more cases. The caseload isn't going to slow down.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. 425-947 1967, or Google NUNN. None better, tax resolution.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, and you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series, Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you worried about economic conditions, tariffs, and inflation? Are you tired of trying to time the stock market? Maybe it's time to take a little risk off the table given current market volatility. For stability, there's no better option than Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, a fixed return of 9%. Hi, I'm Scott Rurucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 18 years with zero investor losses, averaging double-digit returns since inception, and we also accept IRAs. Over 1,000 local investors have invested over $250 million in our Legacy family of funds. Feeling uneasy? Don't gamble your hard-earned money or risk your retirement. Legacy Group's Northwest Fund, returning 9%, has limited openings for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or visit LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Legacy investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Over 400 tariff-free new Kias are available now at Kia of Everett with easy lease and financing options. Experience simple, easy, fun at Kia of Everett today.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
It is Gee Ursula Show. Good morning. Thank you guys for hanging with us. Ursula, what do you got for us?
Well, let's start with the topic about Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank and the newly discovered DUI. 360 says 21 years as a public disclosure coordinator with a certain office of the Washington State Patrol. No breaks were ever given to other agencies for DUI cases. I'm very proud of how professional the Washington State Patrol is.
You know what I say about them. Thank you. By the way, I think to be Washington State Patrol, Chef, you can fact check me. I think you need a college education. The Dignity Act. Carrie in Bonnie Lake says the more we hear about immigration solutions from Congress and the White House, the more it sounds like slavery. I mean, these mostly brown people can come here and pay us for the privilege to work in jobs we don't want or don't have enough people to fill. Doctors, anyone? Meanwhile, they'll be alone, no family, and any pathway to citizenship is just iffy at best. But good news, the Golden Visa just requires $5 million and you're in.
On Denny Blaine Park, David says, I have been going to that park for 15 years. I'm usually there between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., maybe 7 on a summer day, and I've never seen anything indecent. People aren't having sex on the beach. They're not playing with themselves in public. If you're worried about that kind of behavior, you should look at what happens on Metro buses or behind grocery stores. Should we shut down Metro too? I don't know where you're getting your information from, but it's not from firsthand experience. Why don't you all go undercover at the park for a few days? You'll see nothing lewd is going on. This whole thing is just ridiculous. So, G, I say we take on David's challenge and we go undercover at Denny Blaine Park.
Ursula, have you ever had the drink sex on the beach?
And you know I don't drink, but I have had it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I've had it.
Okay.
Gee, on your fact check, you do not need a college degree to be a trooper with the Washington State Patrol.
Oh, you don't?
You do not. Nope.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
And as much as I always talk about college and college education, I don't think it should be required.
Wow. Graffiti. Well, that shocked me. Kevin in Seattle says if they actually enforce this new law, it will help. Some of those people have dozens of tags around the region. That could get really expensive.
I totally agree with you, Kevin. 253 says, do you really think people doing graffiti have money just sitting in their accounts to pay fines, that they would actually pay them? Actually, the reason why they decided to pass this law is because they did find out that some of those repeat offenders actually have pretty good paying jobs.
360 says, I drive the I-5 corridor 5 days a week at 2 a.m. in my semi. I've called state troopers and police multiple times about taggers on the highway, but nothing ever gets done.
And I think the state needs to do what the city of Seattle is doing and, get a lot tougher on it, because I read that one tag to remove it costs like $3,000, which
I will do that for $2,000, no problem.
I'll do it for $1,000. Okay, if you try to have work-life balance, you're unlikely to be promoted, according to this new study. Julie B says, I don't even get any vacation time at my current job, and I only get sick pay because of Seattle law.
206 says, there is no reason for corporations to allow employees work-life balance. The bottom line, and investors won't allow it.
Robin in Puyallup says, for me, the ultimate irony is a manager who takes all the time they want and then gets judgy when an employee takes even 2 days for themselves. That's true.
All right, Ursula, it's now time. What you got for us on the words to live by?
I love this quote from Amy Weatherly, who says, nobody has it all figured out. It is our job to cheer each other on, lift each other up, and push each other to keep giving it our best. It matters who we surround ourselves with. We need to be better to each other. We're all we have.
That's why people listen to the Gee Ursula Show, Ursula.
I hope so.
That's why they do it. All right, Brother Nick.
Well, what really makes a better neighborhood from all the rest? When you're thinking where you want to live and find the very best, all I know is for this time of year, the greatest spots to be are the homes that let you visit when they crank on that AC. In the middle of our street. And I know it's really hot, but please don't pull a Denny Blaine and at least leave on a pair of shorts preventing eyes from pain. Ain't nobody needs to see that. You can keep it on.
I love it. Man, you truly are a genius.
Thanks, Ursula.
Nick, seriously, the fact that you can just wrap it all, we can't explain that enough.
Don't know how he does
and
it.
throws in the music while also doing your other job.
Aww.
Hey, if you missed any part of our show, specifically if you missed the 9:30 segment when we did You Be the Judge and we brought up this situation with Tim Eyman saying he hasn't paid his car tabs in 6 years and officers have given him a break on that, we asked you to be the judge. It was pretty split, I would say, the people texting in, but listen to that and then weigh in as well.
Yeah.
We'd love that. We'll put it on our Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page as well.
Well, listeners also want to know, Ursula's having a barbecue. It's going to be the hottest day of the year. It's already 86 degrees downtown Seattle right now. What are you going to have for the barbecue?
So a couple of things. One of our listeners suggested that I go to Fred Meyer and get a couple of things there, and I like what he suggested. But then you mentioned a noodle salad and Thai spring rolls, and I need to get that too. In other words, I'm not cooking.
Oh, you're not cooking. All right. Thanks, Ursula. Appreciate
you.
Hey, thank you, Chef. Nick, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Hey, the Jake and Spike Show, they are coming in next. We'll do this again tomorrow. We appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
In the middle of our street, our house. In the middle of our house was our castle and our king, our house.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hi, it's John Curley. Longevity Medical Clinic is your best plan for long-term well-being and personalized health care. Dr. Mixon, let me ask you a question. How long have some of your patients been working with you?
We've got patients now that have been with us for over 20 years that are in their 90s who came to us in their 60s. The grandparents now in their 90s are living independently. They're not on walkers, they're not on canes, they're not headed for nursing homes.
I meet people and they ask about, wow, you're in great shape. You have 12% body fat and stuff. What's the secret? I said, it's not a secret. Longevity Medical Clinic has been there for 25 years. There is no secret to the fact that if you make those small changes, you avoid the big, bad, horrible stuff that most of us just think, well, this is what's supposed to happen to me.
And if you're heading downhill and you don't